Chapter 890. It was 10 times colder than before. The secretary almost couldn't stand still. Young Master D, it's okay. I'll leave now. The secretary's body stiffened, and she quickly left. After leaving the office for a long distance, she finally caught her breath. Di Haoyan was in no mood to deal with work and pushed her away. In the afternoon, Di Bowling saw a child's advertisement on the school's television. It was a little boy, smiling as he said the advertisement message. Di Bowling's face was cold. How could such an ugly boy appear on television? But because of this, he had an idea. He had already found out what Tang Bao did. Then, if he became a child star under her, would he be able to see Tang Bao every day? Therefore, before school ended, he got into Old Joe's car and instructed, "Go to Bao's studio." Bao. Old Joe had never heard of it. "Can't you use your phone to check?" Di Bowling's expression didn't look too good. Old Joe hurriedly used his phone to search and really found it. However, he still had to ask, "Young master, why are you going there? You're going home for dinner. Isn't it still early? Otherwise, why would I leave school now?" Old Joe didn't dare to disobey and drove the car according to the route. They arrived at the place. Di Bowling got out of the car. He was dressed in a suit and looked like a child. His serious little face couldn't be ignored. He walked into Bao's studio with an imposing manner. Little Ding felt that she was really lucky. She had met Tang Ji's two delicate babies, and now she had met such a handsome little guy. He was much more good-looking than the child stars on TV. Her eyes lit up, and she wanted to touch his little face with her hands. "I'm warning you, don't touch my face." Just as Little Ding couldn't help but reach out, Di Bowling warned her coldly. Little Ding was really scared by him and chuckled. "Isn't that because you're too cute? Auntie is overflowing with maternal love. Why were people so good at giving birth these days? Why were all her children so adorable and delicate? She had really learned something. Don't overflow. I'm here to look for someone." "Who are you looking for?" "I'll look for whoever's the biggest boss here," Di Bowling said. "Here, Manager Tang has the most power. He is the boss. But, may I ask why you are looking for him?" "I'll only tell her. If it was anyone else, Little Ding would definitely be unhappy." However, she couldn't harden her heart to reject this cute little baby. "I agree. Come with me." Tang Bao was in a daze in his office. He could not focus on the work in front of him. After thinking for a long time, he finally came back to his senses. She really didn't seem like her usual capable and experienced self. The door to the office was open. Shouting knocked on the door. Tang Bao came back to his senses and looked at her. "Come in. Manager Tang, I have a guest here who wants to see you." Xiao Ding said mysteriously. "Who is it?" Di Bowling walked out from behind and looked at Tang Bao with bright eyes. Tang Bao looked at him in shock. A second ago, she was still thinking about Di Bowling's existence and her relationship with Di Bowling. The next second, Di Bowling appeared in front of her. "Why are you here?" Seeing that Tang Gun knew this cute little baby, Xiao Ding left. Di Bowling sat down on the chair opposite Tang Bao. His short legs couldn't touch the floor, and there was a desk between him and Tang Bao. "I want to be a child star." Why do you want to be a child star?" Tang Bao didn't understand. "Just take it that. I'm doing it for fun." "For fun?" Tang Bao asked. "Have you gotten your father's permission?" "He should have agreed." "If you don't believe me, you can call him," Di Bowling said. He remembered that as long as he made a request, Di Junbai would satisfy him. Even if he took advantage of him and asked for permission, Di Junbai wouldn't scold him. For example, this time when he came back from abroad without permission. However, Tang Bao's thoughts were different from his, because she thought that this matter wasn't as simple as asking Di Junbai, but also Di Haoyan. It wasn't that she wanted to think in that direction, but before she knew the truth, anything could happen. Besides, seeing how much Di Haoyan valued Di Bowling, she felt that even if she wanted to take Di Bowling as a child star, she had to ask Di Haoyan first. However, Tang Bao didn't want to take him as a child star. Would she feel better if she looked at him every day? "I'm sorry, we don't take in child stars. But the sister who sent me here just told me that you need a child star here. Don't I just happen to be one?" Tang Bao face-bombed. "Xiao Ding, you really want to poach anyone you see to your studio?" Last time, he even asked her if she wanted to find the two babies to be child stars. Because in Juan Malay's script, the male and female protagonists would have children later. That was why she wanted to find a cute little baby. Dee Bowling's appearance and temperament definitely didn't need to be packaged. It was just that she couldn't take him. Bowling, being a child star, is tough and tiring. I'm not afraid. Tang Bao continued to persuade him. Being a child star isn't for fun, it's for work. It's different from what you think. I know. So, I've thought about it carefully. He didn't need to tell the adults about his careful thinking. Moreover, Tang Bao felt that he couldn't think for more than 24 hours. Otherwise, he could have said it last time in the castle. Just when Tang Bao was at his wit's end, Di Haoyan appeared. Tang Bao was displeased. Didn't I tell you that I'm busy and not to disturb me? He's the person you're busy with? Di Haoyan wanted to see Tang Bao in the surveillance cameras, but she stayed in the studio and didn't come out. He couldn't sit still in the office. Then he saw Di Bowling in the studio. What was he doing here? Di Haoyan walked up to Di Bowling and looked at him condescendingly. Why are you here? Tang Bao thought that since Di Haoyan was here, he didn't need to make a decision and just let him speak. He wants to be a child star, Tang Bao said. That's a good idea. Di Haoyan nodded. Tang Bao was stunned. You agree? Why wouldn't I agree? He wants to be a star, as long as he has the ability. Di Haoyan sat down on the sofa with his long legs crossed and a calm expression on his face. Tang Bao couldn't remain calm. He thought that Di Haoyan would definitely not agree. Most parents would not agree to such a young child becoming a child star. After all, it would be very tough. Could it be that Di Bowling really wasn't Di Haoyan's son? Was she wrong? For the first time, Di Bowling found this tyrant pleasing to the eye. He looked at Tang Bao with joy in his heart. Then where are you signing me? This. Wait a minute. What's the problem? Your daddy. Can I borrow your cell phone? Di Bowling asked. Tang Bao entered the cell phone's password and passed it to him. Chapter 891. He handed over another phone. Use mine. Di Bowling glared at him. What's the difference? Tang Bao knew that Di Haoyan's possessiveness was acting up again. Di Bowling had no choice but to take the phone and call Di Junbai's number again. After the call went through, Di Junbai's voice came through. Young master. Daddy, it's me. Di Junbai was slightly stunned. You're at T? No. I'm at Tang Bao's studio. Tang Bao. Do you want me to pick you up? Di Junbai didn't have much of a reaction. No. I just want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. I want to be a child star, but I need your permission. Di Bowling said. Why? You want to be a child star? It'll be tough. I'm not afraid of hardship. Since this is your decision, I support you, Di Junbai said. Di Bowling looked at Tang Bao. My daddy has agreed. I told you, my daddy will support me no matter what I do. Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyan. He's very serious. Do you guys really agree? Didn't Di Junbai agree? Di Haoyan didn't seem to have any objections at all. Tang Bao looked at Di Bowling. How did he attract this little ancestor? Okay, if you want to be a child star, you haven't started filming yet. I'll sign the contract with you when the filming starts. Is that okay? Don't you need to help me wrap it up first? Di Bowling asked. Tang Bao thought to himself, you really know how to do things. You don't need to wrap it up. You just have to be there when the time comes. You don't even need to put on makeup. Then can I come to the company when I'm free? Di Bowling requested. What do you want to do? Tang Bao asked. To familiarize myself with the company's environment. I can also follow you to familiarize myself with the work process. She knew too much, didn't she? And the smarter this child was, the more Tang Bao felt that he resembled Di Haoyan. This made her feel uncomfortable again. You want to follow me? Why? I want to cultivate our relationship. Tang Bao. Di Haoyan's expression changed. Should he regret agreeing to let him be a child star? Either wait for the notice or stop being a child star. Di Bowling stared at Di Haoyan angrily. There's no use glaring at me. Let old Joe send you back. Di Haoyan said sternly. Why didn't you let me go to the castle? Di Bowling asked curiously. Di Haoyan also wanted him to go and even go back with him. But Tang Bao's mood was obviously not right these 2 days, so he didn't want Di Bowling to annoy her. I'll go next time. I know. Steve Bowling looked at him coldly, like a little adult. Di Haotian frowned. What do you know? I made you feel threatened, Di Bowling said firmly. Di Haotian's face darkened. He couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with him. I'll take you out. I can walk on my own. Don't take my clothes. Di Bowling jumped down from the chair and stepped back. She wanted to mess up his clothes again. He didn't like other people touching his clothes, and he didn't like wearing uneven clothes even more. Di Bowling turned to look at Tang Bao. Tang Bao, I'm leaving. I'll visit you next time. With that, he looked at Di Haotian warily as he was about to leave. Di Haotian looked at the little figure walking out and said to Tang Bao, I'll send him out. Tang Bao nodded and didn't say anything. Di Bowling looked back and saw Di Haotian walking behind him. What was he doing? Was he here to send him off? Di Haotian looked at the little figure in front of him with fatherly love in his eyes, but he also found it funny. He actually wanted to be a star. However, he saw that he wanted to be close to Tang Bao, so he naturally wouldn't reject such a thing. If he wanted to be a child star, then so be it. The car was parked outside. Old Joe stood beside the car and saw Di Haotian bending over slightly. Di Bowling stopped in his tracks and turned around. He looked up at Di Haotian and asked, Why did you put in a good word for me just now? If you don't like it, I could go back on my word. No, you have to keep your word. Although I don't like you very much, I'm a person who can distinguish between kindness and hatred, so I still want to thank you, Di Bowling said seriously. However, I feel that Tang Bao isn't in a good mood. Di Haotian's dark eyebrows furrowed. Did you make her angry? No. Then you can coax her. Otherwise, let me coax her. You won't have the chance. The next time I come and she's still angry, I'll have the chance. Di Bowling's little face showed that he wasn't convinced. He turned around and got into the car, leaving behind a displeased Di Haotian. Then he thought of Tang Bao and turned around to go into the studio. Tang Bao knew that Di Haotian would come in again. She had already mentally prepared herself and quietly pretended to be serious about her work. You can go back. I still have something to do. Tang Bao buried herself in her work and said, You're still in a bad mood? Di Haotian lifted her chin and looked at her intently. Do I look like I'm in a bad mood? Even if I am, it's just a matter of work, Tang Bao said in an attempt to cover up. Even Di Bowling can tell that you're in a bad mood. Do you think I can be wrong? Tang Bao was slightly stunned. Di Bowling could tell that she was in a bad mood? How could he tell? This child's mind was too sharp. In fact, to be honest, Tang Bao really liked a smart and cute child like Di Bowling. However, if this child was built on her pain, would she still like him so much? She knew that the child was innocent, and she would not hurt him. At most, in the end, she would be the one who would hurt the most. Her jaw tightened. What are you running away from? Tang Bao came back to her senses and lowered her gaze. Can you not care about this? Let me have some privacy, okay? Is it related to me? Don't ask. Tang Bao wanted to break free from Di Haotian's grip on her, but she could only frown at his strength. If it affects your mood, not only will I ask, but I'll also investigate, Di Haotian said firmly. Then go investigate, Tang Bao blurted out. Actually, she was not stupid. If Di Haotian investigated and found out what she was worried about, what kind of expression would he have? Is it related to the fact that I'm hiding something from you? Tang Bao suddenly stood up. Don't talk about it. I'll investigate it myself. She did not want to talk about this with Di Haotian face to face. Firstly, there was no evidence. It was just what she heard from others, even if the story sounded true. Secondly, she was no longer the same person she was 3 years ago. She preferred to use evidence to question Di Haotian. Moreover, if it was false, wouldn't her suspicion become ridiculous? Chapter 892. Tang Bao was back by his side again. This kind of loss and recovery made him very cautious, like a bird startled by the twang of a bow. It was already his limit that he could endure until now. 3 days. Tang Bao's mind was blank, so he just gave a random number of days. Okay, 3 days later, I want to know what you're hiding in your heart. If I can't find out, I'll do it. Tang Bao nodded. Forget it. Anyway, Di Haotian could tell. It would be unrealistic to say that there was nothing on his mind. The next day, at noon, Tang Bao drove her car to Ivy Academy alone. At this time, the children were all sleeping. When Tang Bao saw that the two babies were already sleeping soundly, she glanced at them and then walked to Dee Bowling's small bed. Looking at his sleeping face, she touched his head and there was a strand of hair in her hand. Before she put the strand of hair away, Dee Bowling's eyes opened. Tang Bao was speechless. Her movements were very gentle. How'd he wake up? Tang Bao. Dee Bowling was happy. Shoo, lower your voice. Why are you here? Are you here to see me? Why are you like Di Haoyan? Why do you like to touch my head? Tang Bao sensed that something was wrong. He also came here to touch your hair? Yes. When did this happen? A long time ago. Tang Bao felt that no matter how long it was only 2 weeks. Because the children had only started school not long ago. It would not exceed that number of days. So, she could imagine that Di Haoyan also came for a paternity test, and then found out that the children were his. So his attitude towards Dee Bowling changed? If that was the case, she had to do this paternity test even more. She just did not want to keep herself in the dark and deceive herself. Okay, you go to sleep. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. Did you come to see me? Dee Bowling asked. Tang Bao looked at his expectant eyes and finally nodded. Dee Bowling's little face was instantly filled with joy. Tang Bao's heart was filled with mixed feelings. After arriving at the hospital, Tang Bao handed the things in her hands to the doctor. She needed to know the report soon. With some connections, the hospital was built quickly. Tang Bao was waiting in the lounge. She must be very nervous. This was the first time she had done something like this. In the past, she had been forced to do a paternity test by Yu Song-won. She never thought that such a hurtful thing would happen to her one day. However, she didn't hurt anyone. She just wanted to find out the truth. She didn't want to live in confusion. The door behind him opened and the doctor walked in. Hello, Mr. Tang. The results of the paternity test are out. Tang Bao was so nervous that it was as if he could not hear his own heartbeat. When he saw the doctor approaching, it was as if he was looking at a terrifying object approaching. Mr. Tang? The doctor saw that Tang Bao's expression was not right and called out to him. Tang Bao came back to his senses and said, Go ahead. This is the result of the paternity test. The DNA sample that you brought over shows that there is a 99.9% chance that the two of them are biological father and son. In other words, they are biological father and son. Before Tang Bao could look at the paternity test, he was shocked by the doctor's words and fell to the ground. His face was so pale that he was about to faint. He staggered backward and held his forehead with his hand. He looked like he was in pain. Mr. Tang, are you okay? Tang Bao felt that his head was about to explode, his heart was about to explode, and his entire body was about to explode. Why did this happen? Why was her suspicion right? Why was Dee Bowling really Di Haoyan's child? What did she do wrong? Why did she have to know about this? Why did Di Haoyan say that he didn't betray her? Why did he lie to her? Why did he touch another woman? Why did he look for her after touching another woman? If he didn't look for her, she would still be living happily with the two babies. She wouldn't even know that Di Haoyan had a child. Why did she come back? Because her heart softened for Di Haoyan. Should she come back after knowing everything that Di Haoyan had done for her? Mr. Tang? Mr. Tang? Calm down. The doctor could naturally see what was wrong with Tang Bao. His breathing was rapid, his pupils were dilated, and he was in agony. He had suffered a blow. Tang Bao bent over with one hand on his abdomen and the other on his forehead. Tears were dripping down his face. His voice was hoarse as he said, I'm fine. Go out. I want to be alone. The doctor knew that he was not sick. He comforted him and said, If you feel uncomfortable, tell us. After that, he went out. What he needed most now was to calm down. Actually, as long as he calmed down, all his problems would disappear. After the door closed, the lounge was quiet, but it was filled with despair, and pain. Tang Bao could no longer hold back her tears. They dripped down one by one onto the paternity test report on the ground in front of her. She couldn't see the words on it at all, and there was no need to see anything. The doctor had already told her everything. This was the cruel reality. Tang Bao felt her stomach cramping. She could only sit on the ground and couldn't even bend over. All the strength in her body seemed to have been sucked out in an instant. What should she do? Should she go back to Boiling City? But could she go back? She couldn't. Tang Bao walked out of the hospital with the piece of paper in her briefcase. The briefcase seemed to weigh a few thousand kilograms, and it was especially difficult to carry. Di Haoyan's kindness to Di Bowling was really problematic. She really wasn't overthinking. Tang Bao walked to the cake shop and stared blankly at the exquisite cakes in the window. The cakes in the castle were all free of additives. Children didn't need to worry about eating them, no matter how much they ate. During breakfast in the morning, Zhongli made a lot of biscuits and cake for the two little guys, and also brought some for Di Bowling. If they knew who Di Bowling was, would the atmosphere in the castle still be normal? What a coincidence! A woman's voice came, followed by a faint smell of perfume. It smelled good, but Tang Bao wasn't used to it, including the appearance of this person. I was buying clothes across the street. When I was about to get in the car, I didn't expect to see a familiar figure. It turned out to be you. Since it's such a coincidence, why don't we find a place to drink tea? Kai Shizhen was wearing a sexy dress that clung to her enchanting figure. She stood in front of Tang Bao, who was in a suit. When Tang Bao saw this person again, could she still be calm? She wanted to vomit the churning in her heart. With such looks and morals, was she really related to Di Haoyan? She only felt nauseous. Sorry, my stomach is a little uncomfortable today, so I can't drink with you. Chapter 893. No need. I still have something to do. I'll leave first. Wait a minute. Kai Shizhen hurriedly stopped her. Have you thought about what I told you last time? I miss my son so much. Please take pity on me as his mother. Tang Bao's face turned even paler. Go find someone else. After saying that, she pushed Kai Shizhen away and left. After getting into the car, Tang Bao felt that she was almost out of breath and pulled off her tie forcefully. As if that wasn't enough, she opened the window and let the wind outside blow on her face. Only then did her breathing become smoother. Tang Bao felt that sometimes, when the world was ridiculous, it was simply unreasonable. Di Haoyan's child with another woman actually liked her very much. And she didn't hate Di Bowling at all. She just hated Di Haoyan's actions. Why did he lie to her and say that he didn't have a relationship with another woman? Was it so difficult to tell the truth? Tang Bao felt that her heart had been torn open countless times and was bleeding a lot. It was extremely uncomfortable. It was as painful as Di Haoyan's memory loss at that time. It was even more serious. It was as if someone had taken away what belonged to her with a knife on her neck. That kind of pain was connected to her tendons. Tang Bao didn't return to the studio and went straight back to the castle. Zhongli was surprised to see Tang Bao back. Young madam, you're back so early? Didn't the young master send you back? I know, the young master must be busy. Do you want to eat something first? It's not time for dinner yet. No need. I'm going back to my room to rest. I don't want to eat dinner. Ah. Tang Bao acted as if she didn't see Zhang Li's stunned expression and went upstairs. When she returned to her room, she lay on her bed. Her phone rang in her briefcase, but she wasn't in the mood to care. Di Haoyan called Tang Bao, but no one picked up. Naturally, he wouldn't give up until he found her. It was only when he called the castle that he learned that Tang Bao had returned. Lian said over the phone, "Young master, I heard for Zhang Li that young madam didn't look too well when she came back. She even said that there's no need to call her over for dinner." She thought that the two of them might have quarreled. When Di Haoyan heard this, he naturally ignored tea and left tea for the castle. He was not in the mood to pick up the children and asked the driver to do it. As soon as Di Haoyan arrived at the castle, Lian said, "Young madam is in the room." Di Haoyan went straight upstairs. Just as he was about to push the door open, he realized that the door was locked. "Bao." Di Haoyan knocked on the door. Tang Bao, who was lying on the bed, opened her eyes. Even hearing Di Haoyan's voice was torture for her, let alone seeing him. She was afraid that she would lose control. Even though she knew that Di Haoyan's feelings for Kai Shizhen weren't sincere and that it was a mistake made after drinking, she still couldn't let it go. She couldn't convince herself. She wasn't magnanimous. However, she also knew that even if Di Haoyan wanted to come in, there was no way in. Bao, open the door. Di Hao Ian knocked on the door. Tang Bao felt that the door was in danger of being broken in the next second. She sat up, got out of bed, and walked to the door. There was a door between the two of them. I want to sleep alone tonight. Don't come in. Di Hao Ian stopped knocking on the door. Do you think I'll be at ease, leaving you alone in the room? Just don't bother me. Since you're worried, why did something like that happen? Paper can't wrap fire. One day I'll find out. Everyone knows this, but you, Di Hao Ian, don't understand? Do you know how I feel right now? I've become someone else's stepmother, and the person I love has slept with another woman. Bao, let me in. Di Hao Ian's voice was low and sincere. I know you have a way to come in, but I've said before that I want to be alone. How long do you want to be alone? Di Hao Ian asked. I don't know. Anyway, you're not allowed to come in now. If you dare to come in, I won't let you off. Tang Bao was furious. With that shout, she felt a lack of oxygen in her brain. Her vision went black for a moment, and she almost fell. During this period of time, she had been bearing too much. This was the result of her choice to believe in Di Hao Ian. She deserved it, standing far away. Zhongli pulled Li Un and watched. No one dared to go near the master bedroom. It was as if there was a scary object there. I knew it was young master who provoked young madam. Otherwise, young madam's face wouldn't be so bad. Supervisor, why do you think they quarreled? Zhongli asked. I don't know. Lian didn't speculate about such things. How can you not know? You make it sound like young madam is being unreasonable. Could this be the 7-year itch that others talk about? That's not right. Young master and young madam haven't been together for 7 years. Could it be earlier? If it's really itchy, what should we do? I heard that there's a good way. Lian looked at her. Just pour brown sugar water on the door of the room. It'll be fine the next night. In the castle, don't do anything crooked. How is this called crooked? If that was the case in my hometown, the husband and wife would have reconciled. If you don't know, don't talk nonsense. Zhongli rolled her eyes. Are you going to pour it? I don't dare. If young master found out that they got brown sugar water at the door of young master's room, he would definitely not let them off. Then why are you still talking about it? Can I even talk about it? Zhongli was not convinced. Lian ignored her, but he felt that this method was very cute. Perhaps young master knew that this method would really be used. He just didn't know if it would be even scarier if there was no effect after using it. Tang Bao hid in the room and stood by the door, refusing to let Di Hao Ian in. Her eyes were filled with discomfort, forbearance, and pain. She didn't want to face Di Hao Ian like this. She didn't want to see him. If you really want to make me happy, you can sleep in another room. Don't come in. Di Hao Ian couldn't say that he didn't want Tang Bao to be happy, but if he didn't go in and see her, wouldn't he be more worried? What exactly happened? Bao, I'll only give you half an hour. After half an hour, I want to go in. After Di Hao Ian finished speaking, he stood at the door and leaned against the wall, motionless. Tang Bao panicked. Di Hao Ian had always been a man of his words. If he wanted to come in, no matter what she said, he would come in. How could this person be so domineering? But would she be able to recover her emotions in half an hour? The paternity test report was still in her briefcase, pressing against her heart. How could her complexion return to normal? Half an hour later, Di Hao Ian entered the bedroom and saw Tang Bao sitting on the sofa, looking out of the French window in a daze. Di Hao Ian walked over, looked at her pale face, and sat down beside her. Have you found out about the matter? Not good? Chapter 894. Okay. Tang Bao was slightly stunned. She did not even know what it was, but she agreed so readily. In the past 3 years, did you have any relationship with other women? Tang Bao felt like her heart was being cut by a knife. Why did she have to ask again? Did she just want to hear it from Di Hao Ian's own mouth? Could it be that the results of the paternity test were not as truthful as his own admission? No, I didn't even use my hands. Tang Bao felt like her insides were twitching because of his words. But this was a negative sentence. She did not understand why Di Hao Ian had to say this every time, and he said it without batting an eyelid. It was as if he really did not do it. But Tang Bao also knew that it was very difficult to see what Di Hao Ian was hiding. Can't you just tell me the truth? Tang Bao asked in disappointment. You told me the truth. What else can I do to you? I've already come back with you. Di Hao Ian was not angry because of Tang Bao's anger, even if he was innocent. He hugged Tang Bao, who had lost control, and looked at her with a smile. Do you want me to say yes? If I say yes, you won't be angry? So, did you or did you not? No. Tang Bao bit her lip and glared at him angrily. Which woman is gossiping in front of you? I can meet her. Maybe we can have a chat. Then send her to hell. Of course, she did not say her last thought out loud. When Di Hao Ian spoke, he was very calm. It was as if he really just wanted to have a chat with that woman. But Tang Bao could feel the hellish temperature emanating from Di Hao Ian. No one. Tang Bao looked away. No one. Bao, this is the second time you've asked me, Di Hao Ian pointed out. Tang Bao wanted to refute for herself, but she had nothing to say. Was it the second time she had asked him? It was only when Di Hao Ian asked her that she remembered. Then let me ask you, does Di Bowling have anything to do with you? Is he your biological son? Tang Bao asked directly. Di Hao Ian's dark eyes were slightly stunned. You went to investigate this matter? So you admit it? As Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian's expression, his body grew colder and colder, as if he had fallen into a bottomless abyss of fear. Tang Bao stood up, took out a piece of paper from his briefcase, and handed it to Di Hao Ian. I want to do a paternity test. I know it's not good, but I don't want to be treated like a fool. I've already given you a chance to ask for the truth, but you've always said no. Di Hao Ian took the paternity test and looked at the report on it. He narrowed his eyes and said, Bowling is indeed my biological son. Tang Bao felt like he was going to faint. His eyes were hot and his voice was hoarse. So, you're finally willing to admit that you've touched another woman during these 3 years? You're only willing to admit it if I show you evidence? If that's the case, how much can I believe in anything you say? Di Hao Ian looked up at her. I haven't touched another woman. You already have a son, and you're saying you haven't touched another woman? Where did he come from? Tang Bao couldn't believe that he would admit to having a son at this point in time, but not to having another woman. Di Hao Ian walked towards her and stood in front of her. His dark eyes looked down at her as he asked, You're the only woman I've ever had. Tell me, if my son is mine, what is his relationship with you? What? What do you mean? Di Hao Ian's height made Tang Bao feel a little confused. You mean to say that he's my child? Do you think I'm ignorant? Do you think I wouldn't know if it's my own child? I only gave birth to Bao and Xiao Bao. As for her first child, she didn't even have one. Even if there was a chance of survival, it wouldn't be as old as Di Bowling. Di Hao Ian's hand touched Tang Bao's face and gently caressed it. His rough presence was still very strong. His dark eyes looked at her deeply, as if he wanted to control her consciousness. Do you want to know what I've been hiding in my heart? I've told you before that I'll tell you if I'm done with it. You did. I wanted you to accept it slowly, so I'll let Bowling get close to you. I didn't expect you to investigate it yourself. The more Tang Bao listened to Di Hao Ian, the more uneasy she felt. What did he mean? Did he let Di Bowling come to the castle because of her? What are you trying to tell me? Tang Bao was anxious. Was there something serious that he needed to tell her? 3 years ago, when you gave birth, were the children a boy and a girl? Di Hao Ian asked. Yes. Think about it again. Is there anything wrong with the process? Tang Bao didn't know what her childbirth had to do with Di Bowling. However, she still listened to Di Hao Ian and thought about the day she gave birth 3 years ago. Suddenly, something flashed through her mind, but she felt that there was nothing to say. Tell me if there's anything strange about it. It's when the children were taken out of my stomach. I think I heard the doctor say that they were twins, 2 boys. I think I must have been hallucinating because of the anesthetic. There's nothing else. Is that considered strange? Tang Bao frowned and asked, When you did a paternity test for me and Di Bowling, you should also do one for you and Di Bowling. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian in a daze. His dark eyes made her almost lose her mind. What do you mean? Hallucinations during childbirth and a paternity test with Di Bowling. What was the connection? Tang Bao didn't dare to think about it in another way. Bao, Di Bowling is our biological son. Xiao Bao, not him. You didn't hallucinate at that time. You gave birth to twins, not boys and girls. Tang Bao felt like she was struck by lightning. Her whole body swayed. If Di Haotian hadn't held her, she would have fallen. Her eyes widened as she looked at Di Haotian. You're talking nonsense. Do you think I don't know my own children? How can Di Bowling be my son? Tang Bao couldn't believe all this. That clever, cold, and adorable little fellow had become his son? She had always thought that Bao and Xiao Bao were her children. She would never feel that anyone was not her child. It was as if they were connected by blood. She loved them so much, and they loved their mommy too. How could there be a mistake? How could she accept this? Chapter 895. If you don't believe me, you could do a DNA test with Bowling. Then you'll know if he's your son. You like him so much. Can't you feel that he's your son? When I first saw him, I felt that his eyes were so similar to yours. When I found out that he was Di Junbai's son, I thought that maybe things weren't that simple. Just like what you said, why would Di Junbai find a strange woman to be a surrogate? Di Bowling. She was the one who swapped the child with you when you weren't conscious. If you don't want to do a DNA test between you and Di Bowling, I can show you Xiao Bao's blood type at the hospital. It's HR negative, which is different from ours. Tang Bao's eyes were hot and tears fell. Xiao Bao, if she's not my daughter, whose child is she? Di Junbai adopted her from the orphanage. Di Junbai. Tang Bao struggled out of Di Haotian's arms and stepped back. She sat on the edge of the bed and hugged her head with both hands. Why did he do that? To take revenge on me. Just because of revenge, he did this? He took my son away. Tang Bao was so angry that her tears fell. He made him stay abroad for 3 years. Tang Bao thought about how Di Junbai had thrown her son overseas and separated them for 3 years without letting her know. Her heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Di Haotian sat down beside her and pulled her into his arms, hugging her tightly. If it's possible to not make you suffer, I can keep it a secret for the rest of my life. Tang Bao raised her head suddenly. How dare you? Yes, I don't dare. Di Haotian wiped the tears from her face. Don't cry. Even if you want to cry, you can only cry on the bed. Bastard. Tang Bao was so angry that her face turned red. She punched his strong chest. How can you still be in the mood to joke at a time like this? Bowling has returned to us. Fortunately, he is only 3 years old. There is still time. What do you think? Di Haotian comforted her. As for Xiao Bao, since she's an orphan, we'll raise her and treat her like our own daughter. Is that okay? Even if you want to send Xiao Bao away, I won't agree. She's my daughter. I raised her and doted on her. How can I bear to do that? Tang Bao panicked. No. If you say so, then so be it. Don't tell Xiao Bao about this. Don't let her know that she's not my biological daughter, okay? She must be very sad. All right. Tang Bao leaned weakly against Di Haotian's chest, his head heavy. She still couldn't believe what had happened. Xiao Bao was not her biological daughter, and Di Bowling had become her biological son. Di Junbai, what kind of revenge do you want? I've really underestimated you. Tang Bao thought about the past and realized that Di Junbai was a person who hid his true colors well. Some things couldn't be a coincidence, and some things couldn't stand up to scrutiny. Why did he do this to her? Weren't they friends in the past? How could he do this? Or could it be that he was just being insincere? Tang Bao had never seen anything different about him. In her heart, and even in Wan Malay's heart, he was like a Prince Charming. She even felt that Di Haotian was not as good as him. For him, she wanted to run away from Di Haotian. She didn't expect him to be such a scheming person. It made her feel very disgusted. Di Haotian, can you bring Bowling back to me? I miss him. I miss him so much. Tang Bao cried. Okay, I'll get someone to bring him here now. Di Haotian was about to get up. Tang Bao's hands clutched his shirt tightly. What's wrong? Will he be scared by me? Why did I suddenly treat him differently? But if I don't tell him, do I have to let him stay by Di Junbai's side forever? He's my son. Why should I stay by his side? I'm just afraid that he won't want to. After all, in his eyes, Di Junbai is his daddy, and we're just relatives. Tang Bao said worriedly. The more she said, the more upset she felt. After spending some time together, she found out that he was her biological son. That kind of sadness almost drowned her. No, he won't. Let's tell him the truth and see what he thinks. Or, I'll tell him first that you're his mommy. If I say that, won't he think that he's the Junbai's and my son? Tang Bao was not very comfortable with such a position. As long as it's for you, I can bear with it for the time being. When Di Hao Yin said this, Tang Bao was even more unwilling. It was as if she could not bear to see Di Hao Yin being wronged like this. Don't. Let's just tell him directly. I don't want him to misunderstand. Anyway, I'll tell him the truth sooner or later, Tang Bao said with her eyes slightly lowered. Okay. Di Hao Yin was happy and hugged the person in his arms again. He wished that he could integrate into his flesh and blood. However, Tang Bao was still uneasy. What should we tell him? Will Di Junbai be willing to return the child to us? He has no other choice. If I want Bowling to come back, then there won't be a problem, Di Hao Yin told her. Then do you think Bowling will hate me? Tear him and Di Junbai apart? We don't need to force him. We just need to tell him the truth. Isn't he looking for his mommy? It's not a big deal to have another biological father. Tang Bao felt slightly relieved in Di Hao Yin's arms. However, she was still in a daze. How could she have known that the adorable little baby was her own son? He was so cute. The first time she saw him, she liked him very much. He looked so cool when she bumped into him. Did his eyes really look like hers? She did not even notice. She just thought that his eyes were very beautiful. I thought of something. Tang Bao lifted her head from Di Hao Yin's arms and stared at Di Hao Yin. Since you know that he's our child, why did you agree to let him be a child star? You know how hard it is to be a child star. I said that if he's willing to do it, I'll support him. You're so cruel to your child. Bao was the same. Bao said that he wanted to understand T, so he really taught him step by step. Yes, I can be cruel to others, but I can't be cruel to you. What do you mean? Tang Bao stared at her in disbelief. Di Hao Yin immediately corrected her. As long as you're by my side, I can't be cruel. Chapter 896. I'll handle this matter. Don't worry. Tang Bao looked into his deep, dark eyes and thought for a while before asking. Is it Di Junbai? Bao, there are some things that I don't want you to know. Why can't I know? This is related to me. Tang Bao was unhappy. I just didn't expect Di Junbai to be such a scheming person. I thought that he would at least treat me as a friend. Even if he wanted to take revenge on you, he shouldn't have done this. The child is yours, but I gave birth to it. How did he do this? Di Hao Yin clamped her wrist and pulled her to sit on top of him. He pinched her pretty chin and said, Don't think about other men. How am I thinking about other men? Tang Bao stared at him in disbelief. Didn't he hear what she was saying? Hate, all of these are not allowed. I'll handle this matter. Do you trust your husband? Di Hao Yin looked at her with narrowed eyes. Tang Bao had a new understanding of Di Hao Yin's domineering possessiveness. She was also speechless. You don't believe me? Di Hao Yin tightened his grip on her wrist. Tang Bao came back to her senses. I believe you, but you're not allowed to hide anything from me. No matter if it's good or bad. Tell me everything, okay? My tolerance isn't as bad as you think. Di Hao Yin kissed her lips and murmured, Bao, you don't know? Even if a leaf falls on you, I'm still nervous. Tang Bao's heart was throbbing. His low voice vibrated from her lips, and a numbing sensation invaded her limbs and bones. She felt that Di Hao Yin's kiss was getting deeper and deeper. She immediately turned her face away and said, Then tell me honestly, you don't know that woman at all, and you didn't do anything with her. Otherwise, if I find out anything, I won't let you off. Even though she was warning him, she sounded desperate. She could not accept Di Hao Yin getting close to any woman. She couldn't take it. Di Hao Yin kissed her little mouth comfortingly and said dotingly, No, I swear on this part of mine. As he spoke, he pulled Tang Bao's hand. Tang Bao's hand was instantly scalded and his face turned red. This oath was too serious. Moreover, this kind of person was really a hooligan even when swearing an oath. I can also prove it to you. After Di Hao Yin finished speaking, he kissed Tang Bao's bright red lips. He pressed her down. Don't. Tang Bao fell onto the bed and was kissed by Di Hao Yin. Zhongli was waiting downstairs. He paced back and forth. Why didn't he hear anything from upstairs? Ever since young Master Di entered the room, nothing happened. The two of them had made up, and then Zhongli felt his face turn red. Why did his thoughts become so strange? She tugged at Lian again. Do you think we should ask young Master Di and young Madam to come downstairs for dinner later? I'll go and ask them. That's good. She wasn't going anyway. If she provoked young Master Di, she would be afraid. The two babies came back from school. As soon as they entered the hall, Xiao Bao saw Zhongli and Li An and asked, Daddy and Mommy aren't back yet? They're back, but they probably have something to do and are discussing something in the room. Zhongli glanced at Lian and said, Is it very important? Bao asked, Little Master, I don't know about this. It's fine. Manager Lian said that he will call young Master Di and young Madam when it's time for dinner, Zhongli said. Lian. Zhongli took the two babies to wash their hands. Lian looked upstairs and braced himself to knock on the door. Standing in front of the door, he calmed himself down and knocked. Young Master Di, it's time for dinner. There was no reaction from inside. On the surface, it was quiet. However, it wasn't like that in the bedroom. Instead, it was like a stormy sea. An hour later, Tang Bao walked out of the room with her hands on the wall. As soon as she reached the door, she immediately forced herself to stand up straight. Di Hao Yin wanted to caress her, but she pushed him away angrily. However, Di Hao Yin didn't seem to feel her rejection from the inside out. He directly picked her up. Di Hao Yin. Tang Bao screamed and lowered her voice. Hubby will carry you downstairs. I'll carry you up after dinner. I can walk. Tang Bao didn't want to admit that she couldn't walk after enduring it once. I know. Di Hao Yin didn't expose her cover-up and pretended to be strong. Hey, Di Hao Yin. Tang Bao was so anxious that her face turned red. However, Di Hao Yin acted as if he didn't hear her and carried her all the way downstairs. The two babies were playing in the hall downstairs. When they saw Tang Bao being carried down by Di Hao Yin, their expressions immediately became nervous. Xiao Bao ran forward and asked, Mommy, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? No. Tang Bao's face was red, but she also looked at her daughter, who wasn't her biological daughter. Oh, that's good. Then, Xiao Bao and Bao's expressions became quite calm. They were very calm. At least, they were much calmer than Tang Bao. Of course, the person being carried was embarrassed. It was the same no matter how many times they did it. It made her feel like a cripple. Tang Bao looked at her two children running into the dining room as if nothing had happened and blinked. Nothing? She could be carried like this just because she was in good health? Di Hao Yin's dark eyes gazed at her with a doting glow, but Tang Bao glared fiercely at him. Di Hao Yin acted as if he didn't see it and stole a kiss from her pouting little mouth. Tang Bao was so scared that her neck stiffened. Was this person done? When they arrived at the dining room, Di Hao Yin put her down at the dining table before letting her go. Tang Bao looked at the two babies sitting at the dining table, crying piteously for food, and asked, Don't tell me you haven't eaten yet. We're waiting for Mommy and Daddy, Bao said. Tang Bao was even more upset with Di Hao Yin. If it weren't for him, why hadn't they eaten yet? He even caused the two babies to go hungry. However, this kind of thing was really out of her control. Therefore, she said to the two babies, Next time something like this happens, you should eat first, okay? Otherwise, you'll go hungry. It's okay, Mommy. Big brother and I ate cake, so we're not hungry. Also, we like to eat with Daddy and Mommy, Xiao Bao said with a grin. She looked like an obedient little kitten. Tang Bao looked at her with a smile on her face, but her heart ached. Xiao Bao, her precious daughter, was actually abandoned in an orphanage. She was so obedient and so cute. How could she bear to do that? Fortunately, she was her daughter. She was her biological daughter, and there was nothing else. Mommy, Xiao Bao exclaimed. Tang Bao came back to her senses and asked, What's wrong? Chapter 897. The redness on Tang Bao's face that she had tried so hard to suppress resurfaced again, and it was completely red. Di Hao Ian liked to torture her mouth every time. He would not let go until she was out of breath. She knew how pitiful her mouth looked every time she was kissed. She was in a hurry to go downstairs to eat, but she forgot that her lips had not recovered. Lien and Zhongli were still there. Lien looked calm, but Zhongli could not help it. Weren't those suspicious lips a clear indication of what they were doing in the room? This is just a little inflamed. She could really say that her lips were inflamed. Then Xiao Bao, blow it for mommy. Xiao Bao went around in a circle and ran in front of Tang Bao. She looked up and pouted, wanted to blow Tang Bao's lips. Tang Bao pouted slightly and blew for her. Okay, it will be better when you go to bed tonight. Xiao Bao then returned to her table with satisfaction. Although Tang Bao was comforted, she became angry again when she saw Di Hao Ian smile. It was all his fault. Otherwise, she would not be so embarrassed. She kicked her leg onto the table. She did not kick the table leg, but Di Hao Ian's long legs clamped her leg tightly. Tang Bao blushed and glared at Di Hao Ian, warning him to let go. Di Hao Ian acted as if he did not know. He did not let go. He even picked up food for Tang Bao without changing his expression and even fed it to her. Tang Bao could see Di Hao Ian's deep gaze. If she did not eat obediently, Di Hao Ian would not let go of her leg. However, did he think that he could threaten her? Anyway, they were under the table and no one could see. She would not compromise. One of her legs was held by Di Hao Ian. While eating calmly, she did not forget to pick up food for the two babies. The two babies looked around and felt that their daddy and mommy seemed to be playing some fun game, but they just didn't want to play with them. However, when she saw that Tang Bao did not eat the food that Di Hao Ian had given her, Xiao Bao could not bear to see her like this. She said, "Mommy, Daddy has given you some food." Tang Bao thought, "It's not like I didn't see it. You don't have to remind me." The worst thing was that she felt that Di Hao Ian was not backing down at all. The dish was right in front of her mouth, and she had to eat it. He thought that he would not be threatened by Di Hao Ian. However, the two treasures were like the people who were monitoring her. They just stared at her, as if they wouldn't blink if she didn't eat it. Tang Bao had no choice but to open his mouth and swallow it after glaring at Di Hao Ian. Once they were in their mouths, Bao retracted his gaze in satisfaction and began to eat. Tang Bao was speechless. She stared at Di Hao Ian silently. "Can you let go of my leg?" Di Hao Ian's deep eyes were smiling dotingly as he slowly let go of her little leg. Tang Bao then started to eat normally. She knew that Di Hao Ian had been teasing her since they were in the bedroom, trying to divert her attention. However, when her gaze fell on the seat beside her, her eyes darkened. Her mood was suddenly covered by a layer of gray film, and she felt uncomfortable. Deep Bowling liked to sit beside her every time he came. He was actually her son. They were so close to each other, but she did not know. Tang Bao's sharp black eyes noticed the slight change in her expression, including knowing what she was thinking. After dinner, Di Hao Ian took her out for a walk, and Zhang Li and Lian took the children to play. Tang Bao looked at the amusement park in the distance and thought of the black pony that Di Hao Ian bought for Di Bowling. Now she understood why Di Hao Ian bought Di Bowling the same pony as her Bao. Just as Tang Bao was lost in thought, Tang Bao. This voice. Tang Bao thought that it was her imagination. When she turned around, she realized that it was not an illusion. It was really Di Bowling. Tang Bao looked at him in a daze. She did not know who he was before, but now that she knew that he was the son she had lost, she could not help but feel tears welling up in her eyes. She was afraid that she would scare Tang Bao, so she gritted her teeth and endured it. Di Bowling walked up to Di Hao Ian and looked up at him with a questioning and disappointed expression. "Haven't you coaxed her yet? I think I should coax her instead." After saying that, he went forward and took Tang Bao's hand and walked forward. Tang Bao turned around and looked at Di Hao Ian. "Did you ask him to come?" It must have been Di Hao Ian who asked him to come. After dinner, he went to the hall. At that time, she did not notice. When she reached the side, she stopped. Di Bowling asked with a cold expression, "Di Hao Ian made you angry again, didn't he?" "I knew it. He's such a fierce person. He definitely doesn't know what gentleness is." Tang Bao looked at his son whom he had lost and regained. Hearing him speak in such a serious manner, he smiled with relief, but his tears fell uncontrollably. Don't cry. Di Bowling wiped Tang Bao's tears with his little hand. Tang Bao touched his soft little hand and looked into his eyes. Did he really look like her? How could she have thought so much? There must be many similar eyes. However, after Di Hao Ian said that, she felt that Di Bowling's eyes were exactly the same as hers. This was her son, the son that she had lost. Let me hug you. I'll feel much better. Can I? Tang Bao was a little afraid that Di Bowling would reject her. Di Bowling did not say anything else. He immediately put his arms around Tang Bao's neck and hugged her. Tang Bao hugged his soft little body, and her tears fell uncontrollably. She did not know how many times she had said sorry in her heart for making him suffer so much. Di Bowling hugged her and felt that he did not want to let go. He did not have a mommy. Hugging her like this was like hugging his mommy. He also completely treated Tang Bao as his mommy. He loved hugging her like this. Tang Bao hugged him for a long time before she slowly recovered from her emotional state and let go of him. She wanted to see his face. Tang Bao's fingers gently slid across his eyebrows. Her eyes were filled with love. Di Hao Ian bullied you so much. I'll take you to a faraway place. Di Bowling said seriously. Tang Bao could not help but laugh. Where do you want to take me? I'll take you back to my daddy. He'll treat you very well, Di Bowling said. Tang Bao's expression froze. She asked, he treats you very well? Di Bowling nodded. He'll treat you well too. Di Junbai had done such an unforgivable thing. She would only hate and loathe him. Di Junbai's good intentions were too evil. However, to Di Bowling, Di Junbai was his biological daddy and his closest kin. If you told him that Di Junbai was not his daddy, how sad would Di Bowling be? Would it add more sadness to his little heart? Chapter 898. My grandma didn't want me to come. My daddy and aunt didn't say anything and seemed to agree. So I came. Is there a problem? Nothing. I just want you to stay here tonight. Why should I? You can sleep with Tang Bao tonight. Di Bowling's angry expression instantly disappeared. He looked a little awkward and cute. He quickly moved closer to Tang Bao and asked, Are you going to sleep with me tonight? Tang Bao didn't expect Di Hao Ian to be so considerate of her. She was very surprised. After all, Di Hao Ian was so possessive that even his own children couldn't be snatched away from him. Okay, I'll sleep with you tonight. Then I'll stay. Di Bowling's face was red. Tang Bao couldn't help but hug him and kiss him on the cheek. Di Bowling felt that his face was burning. He was extremely shy. What's wrong? Are you embarrassed? Tang Bao smiled. I've never been kissed by a girl like this before. Tang Bao was stunned. Then, she happily hugged him tightly in her arms. Her son was not lost. He was still so outstanding. She was so happy. In the future, she would never lose him again. When Di Bowling and the two babies were playing in the amusement park, Tang Bao stood nearby and watched. Her heart was filled with emotions. Di Hao Ian played with him for a while and walked over. He hugged her and smelled her hair. What are you thinking about? Are you fascinated by your husband? No. Tang Bao's face was slightly red as she denied it. I'm just looking at the children. Aren't you afraid that I'll be jealous? Di Hao Ian looked at the three little rascals in the distance. He narrowed his eyes and said, Or I can send them overseas. Tang Bao was shocked and quickly said, No. Who told you to stare at them? The three children are taking turns looking at them. When will it be my turn? Tang Bao gritted his teeth. Didn't this person just want her to admit that she was looking at him? In order to prevent her child from being sent abroad, she had to say, I was wrong. I was only looking at you just now. I didn't look at anyone else. Good girl. Di Hao Ian nibbled on her tender cheek. Tang Bao was so scared that he hurriedly went to check on the children. Fortunately, the children were all having fun and didn't pay attention to them. Don't tease me. I have something to ask you. Can we talk about Di Bowling later? The reason, he said that Di Junbai treats him very well. If he tells the truth, he will feel very sad, Tang Bao said worriedly. Her heart ached for Di Bowling, so she couldn't bear to let him suffer even a little bit. I'll find out sooner or later. Let's wait. Let me spend more time with him and make him like you. Then, I'll tell him directly. Why? Are you afraid that he won't accept me? Tang Bao was unhappy. If you want to talk about it, you have to make him accept us. Only then will it be less stressful. Otherwise, he definitely won't be able to accept such a change. For example, he originally liked to eat apples, but you forced him to eat pears. If you make him like pears unconsciously, then let him eat them. Isn't that better? Okay, I'll listen to you. Di Hao Ian went along with her. Then tell me, if we let him stay by Di Junbai's side during this period of time, will it be disadvantageous to him? After all, I feel that Di Junbai has bad intentions and did something to hurt Di Bowling without us knowing. I can promise you that it won't. Tang Bao believed in Di Hao Ian's methods, so she was relieved. If Di Hao Ian had the slightest hesitation, she wouldn't have agreed. Then let Bowling stay in the castle? Okay, Tang Bao thought that since he didn't want to talk about it for the time being, he didn't want Di Bowling to go back to the villa. It was just that sometimes he couldn't guarantee that Di Bowling didn't want to go back to the villa. He had to be prepared. At night, Tang Bao really slept with Di Bowling. Not long after he lay down, the door of the room opened. Di Hao Ian walked in his pajamas. Di Bowling immediately sat up from the bed, his little face full of vigilance. Why did you come into my room? What do you want? Di Hao Ian lifted the blanket and got on the bed. To sleep, of course. Di Bowling's little body leaned nervously against Tang Bao. When did I agree to let you sleep in my bed? I agreed to let Tang Bao sleep with you. I didn't say that I can't sleep with you. Di Bowling's little face turned red. Di Hao Ian was really too bad. He actually always lost to Di Hao Ian. This made him very angry, but there was nothing he could do. If he didn't sleep here, wouldn't Tang Bao not sleep here too? Di Bowling turned his head and asked Tang Bao, why don't the two of us sleep in your bed? Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian, who was leaning lazily against the headboard. These two people kept fighting over him whenever they were together. He really didn't know what to say to them. Why don't the three of us sleep together? You want to sleep together? Di Bowling asked. The three of us sleeping on the same bed. Don't we look like a family? Tang Bao wanted to subtly influence him. Di Bowling imagined that scene, but when he thought of Di Hao Ian, his little face wrinkled a little. I think it's better for me, Tang Bao, and my daddy to sleep together. Di Hao Ian's face instantly darkened. Tang Bao quickly comforted him. He doesn't know. Children don't understand. Don't be angry, I won't. She was afraid that Di Hao Ian would fly into a rage and ask her to go back to her room. If that happened, Di Bowling's heart would be hurt. Don't be afraid of him. I'll protect you, Di Bowling said like a little man. Tang Bao patted his head. It's okay. I'm very safe. Let's sleep like this tonight. Okay, Di Bowling said reluctantly. After lying down, Di Bowling was between the two of them. After Di Bowling fell asleep, Di Hao Ian's long arms reached over and hugged Tang Bao. He also hugged Di Bowling in his arms. Tang Bao looked at Di Bowling's sleeping little face. He was so quiet, as if he had found the safety of his mother's cradle. She looked at him in a daze, and her heart ached for him. Let's sleep, Di Hao Ian said. I can't bear to sleep. I can't imagine Di Bowling being alone abroad, without any family to care about him. He's still so young. Then don't think about it. You just have to think that he'll always be by your side in the future. Tang Bao looked up and met Di Hao Ian's deep, dark eyes. Her heart warmed. Thank you for letting me find him. If I didn't come back, I might not have known that I had a son out there for the rest of my life. Di Hao Ian leaned forward. Thank you for coming back to my side. After saying that, his thin lips landed on Tang Bao's red little mouth. Tang Bao did not refuse. She gently closed her eyes and allowed Di Hao Ian to kiss her. She did not want to interrupt such a heartwarming moment. Chapter 899. It was peaceful here, but things were different in Di Junbai's house. In the living room, Di Junbai and Lan Wanru were sitting on the sofa. Only Liu Huai was standing there, pacing back and forth, angry and irritated. I say, why don't you guys say something? It's so late. Why aren't you bringing Bowling home? Andy, it's so late. Bowling must be staying there. Lan Wanru glanced at Di Junbai and said, "Staying there? Did he ask for my permission?" Li Yuhui was so angry that her face turned green. Lan Wanru didn't say anything and looked at Di Junbai again. She was also very curious. Why would the people at the castle wait until Di Bowling returned home to pick him up? This was the first time this had happened. Could it be something urgent? Even if it was urgent, it shouldn't have anything to do with Di Bowling, right? Junbai, say something. Hurry up and bring Bowling home. You're his father. How can you be so calm? Don't you know what kind of person Di Hao Ian is? He likes to snatch everything. He's not a reasonable person. Now he's even snatching someone else's son. Li Yuhui said anxiously to Di Junbai. Di Junbai sipped the tea in his cup and was very calm. Bowling is just going to castle. What can happen? I know you miss him, but you know that Bowling doesn't have a mother. I've always been tolerant of him. Don't restrict him so much. He's been at the castle for 5 days this week. He's almost become Di Hao Ian's son. Bowling is only 3 years old now. He's still young, and it's easy for others to control him. No matter how much I control him, the fact that he's my son can't be changed. So you're just going to watch. I'll pick him up from school tomorrow. Di Junbai finished speaking, stood up, and went upstairs. Li Yuhui felt that the eunuch was more worried than the emperor. Whose son was this? Di Junbai was always so indifferent to her every time. She was so angry. Do you think the problem will be solved if I pick him up from school tomorrow? Li Yuhui said angrily. After last time, Lan Wanru became more cautious when talking to Di Junbai. He didn't know what Di Junbai was willing to listen to or not. Only then did he realize that this person also had a temper. It was just that he didn't show it. Auntie, Bowling is his own son. Of course, he won't leave him be. You don't have to burden him. Am I burdening him? I just told him not to let his son be snatched away by others. How could that be? No matter what, they are still my children. If that's the case, why is Di Hao Ian doing this? Is it to make my family suffer so that he can satisfy his desire for revenge? Revenge? I'm worried about this. That's why I don't want Bowling to go to the castle. Think about it. Your uncle used to scheme and frame you. How could Di Hao Ian have a good relationship with Junbai's child? I don't believe it, even when I see it with my own eyes. That's an adult's matter. How could it involve a child? Brother Hao Ian wouldn't do that. Do you think I don't know what kind of person Di Hao Ian is? Wanru, you can't treat Di Hao Ian like this just because you like him. Auntie, I didn't help him. You said that if you followed Di Hao Ian, none of this would have happened. Now, there's nothing left. Even a man can do whatever he wants in the castle. The speaker didn't mean it, but the listener did. Lan Wanru lowered his gaze. His eyes were full of unwillingness, humiliation, and hatred. Li Yuhui didn't notice Lan Wanru's expression and continued talking. I find it strange. Why didn't you Sang Huan do anything? She accepted that man just like that. Don't you think it's strange? I think. Could it be that Auntie couldn't persuade Brother Hao Ian, so she agreed? Impossible. I know you Sang Huan well. She definitely wouldn't agree to Di Hao Ian wanting a man. Either that, or she's trying to stop him with silence. I don't believe that Brother Hao Ian would have any long-term feelings for a man. We can't fight force with force. We can only wait. Then, when the time is right, we can suppress them, Lan Wanru said. No matter what, Yu Sanghuan definitely wouldn't accept a man. In the morning, Di Bowling woke up. The first thing he saw was Tang Bao hugging him as he slept. This made him very happy. But when he turned his head, he saw Di Hao Ian. He thought that he would be unhappy when he saw Di Hao Ian. But he wasn't unhappy. Instead, he stared blankly at Di Hao Ian's face. The three of them sleeping together looked like a family. Actually, Di Hao Ian didn't look so annoying like this. He had always wanted to sleep with Daddy and Mommy. Did this mean that they were fulfilling his wish? Di Hao Ian's black eyes opened. Di Bowling quickly buried his head in Tang Bao's chest. Di Hao Ian saw where Di Bowling was sticking, and his face darkened. He directly pulled him over. Di Bowling was about to get angry, but Di Hao Ian lowered his voice and said, "Don't wake her up." Di Bowling didn't say anything. He puffed up his face and moved away from Di Hao Ian, the tyrant. "Get up." Di Hao Ian picked him up and carried him with one arm. With the other hand, he took his clothes out of the bedroom. He placed him on the sofa and helped him to put on his clothes. I know how to put it on myself, Deep Bowling said, but his hands stretched out skillfully. He knew how to put it on, but Lao Zhou helped him in the morning. Since Di Hao Yin was willing to help him, he didn't have any objections. Di Hao Yin saw that he didn't resist, and his black eyes were smiling as he helped him put on his clothes. He didn't even help the two babies put on their clothes, and he still looked unhappy. After he was done, Di Hao Yin patted his butt. That's enough. You're not allowed to hit my butt. Why not? Don't treat me like a child. My butt isn't something you can hit. Then who can hit it? Tang Bao. When Tang Bao woke up, she was the only one on the bed. It can't be. They're all up? She didn't feel anything. They were really in a deep sleep. After Tang Bao washed up, she went to her room to put on her clothes and went downstairs. Di Hao Yin and the three children were in the living room. Good morning, Mommy. The two babies greeted her when they saw her. Good morning. Tang Bao looked at the two babies' expressions. They didn't seem to be jealous because they slept with Di Bowling last night. Previously, Di Bowling would show off to the two babies. Was he not going to mention it now? Good morning, Tang Bao. Di Bowling also greeted her. Did you sleep well last night? Not bad. After the three children entered the dining room, Tang Bao pulled Di Hao Yin and asked softly, Why is it so quiet? Are you referring to the children? Yes. The last time I slept with Bowling, they were not happy. Chapter 900. When Di Hao Yin said this, his face was obviously very gloomy. This kid is very thoughtful. But let's forget about that. You keep asking him to sleep with you. You don't take me seriously, do you? Di Hao Yin narrowed his eyes and said dangerously. The next day, Di Junbai's car was already waiting at the entrance of the Ivy League school. Di Hao Yin's car was also there. Di Hao Yin and Tang Bao were both sitting in the car, waiting for the children to come out. Through the black car window, the people outside could not see inside, but the people inside could see clearly what was going on outside. When Di Junbai passed by, he looked inside the car window. Although he could not see anything, he seemed to be able to see everything. There was a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. Tang Bao looked at the figure. Her expression was as gentle as ever. Until now, she still could not believe that Di Junbai actually planned to secretly swap her son. Tang Bao clenched her fists and came back to her senses. When she met Di Hao Yin's sharp and cold eyes, she knew that this person was unhappy about something. Di Junbai is also here to pick up the children. It was obvious who he was picking up. Let Bowling go back with him. Tang Bao knew that she could not force him. Otherwise, she would scare Di Bowling. Outside the car window, she saw Di Junbai holding Di Bowling's little hand and walking towards the car. Di Junbai's face was full of smiles. When he looked at Di Bowling and talked to Di Bowling, it really looked like an intimate father-son relationship. However, Tang Bao was full of anger. But she knew that Di Hao Yin would be even angrier than her. It was just that she could not tell. Di Hao Yin opened the car door. Di Bowling looked over. Di Junbai acted as if nothing had happened. He held Di Bowling's hand and walked to Di Hao Yin. Bowling, greet Uncle. Uncle. Di Hao Yin looked at Di Junbai with a cold face. If it were not for the occasion, he would have made him regret what he had done. Di Junbai looked into the car. Tang Bao did not get out of the car. His eyes darkened slightly, showing that he was not affected by his emotions. If there's nothing else, we'll head back first. Di Bowling looked into the car as Di Junbai pulled him along. By Tang Bao. When Tang Bao heard Di Bowling's voice, tears welled up in her eyes. She jumped out of the car and wanted to chase after Di Bowling. However, Di Hao Yin grabbed her hand. Tang Bao watched as Di Junbai's car drove away with her son. In the car, Di Junbai asked Di Bowling, Why did you stay there last night? I thought you would come back. I waited for you for a long time last night. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'll be more careful next time. It's someone else's house after all. You can't grow old there, Di Junbai said gently. It's not someone else's. It's Mommy's, Di Bowling said as he looked at Di Junbai. She is not your mommy. There are pictures of her in your book. Di Junbai sighed, but she has become someone else's woman. Daddy, Are you admitting that she is my mommy? But you can't tell anyone about this. Don't let anyone know that you already know who mommy is, Di Junbai reminded him. Did Di Haotian steal my mommy? Di Bowling asked. I'm the one who missed out on your mommy. However, if you want her to come back, it's not impossible. But not now. Why not now? Di Bowling asked. It was not easy for him to find his mommy. Why couldn't he have mommy? In fact, from a moment he saw Tang Bao's picture in Di Junbai's study, he felt that she was his mommy. Now that Di Junbai admitted it, he could go straight to the door and ask for mommy. Don't forget that you're not the only child your mommy gave birth to. She also gave birth to Bao and Bao. Even if you do something, she won't come back to me. Why doesn't she want to come back to me? Because she abandoned you. Di Junbai stated the truth mercilessly. Di Bowling's face immediately showed an expression of disbelief and sadness, as if he could not accept this truth. Why did Tang Bao abandon him? If she knew that he was the child she abandoned, would she still be so nice to him? Would she sleep with him? Bowling, please don't blame your mommy. Everything she did was forced by Di Haotian, Di Junbai said to him again. Di Bowling's feelings were like 1,000 twists and turns, but in the end, the culprit was still Di Haotian. Di Bowling's heart was filled with hatred. Was it because Di Haotian had his own child that Tang Bao abandoned him? Tang Bao was not in the mood for dinner at night, but she would not show it in front of her children. Bao ran to bathe his pony after dinner. The jockey was bathing while he helped, but Xiao Bao was not helping. Tang Bao stood not far away and watched. It would be great if Di Bowling was here. Di Bowling's black pony also needed a bath. She could only feel at ease when she saw her children together. But now, it was as if she had abandoned her own son outside and did not care about him. Di Haotian approached her and hugged her waist from behind. What are you thinking about? Di Haotian, what do you think Bowling will come back to me? Tang Bao missed him. If you keep thinking about him like this, I'll get jealous. Tang Bao's expression was slightly sullen. He's your son. Why are you jealous? Why not? I'll get jealous if anyone tries to snatch you away from me. I think you've been soaked in vinegar since you were young. Di Haotian chuckled and nibbled on her tender little face. I suspect that too. However, Bowling's matter won't take too long. Why do you say that? Tang Bao was slightly stunned. Because someone is too confident. Who? Tang Bao was puzzled. Di Haotian did not say anything. How could he not do anything when he knew that his son was in Di Junbai's hands? He wanted to let Di Junbai know that even if his son was in his hands, he would not be able to beat him. When they returned to the room, Di Haotian pestered Tang Bao. Let me help you shower. Can you not make it sound so nice? We didn't do anything last night. You must have remembered wrongly. You didn't do anything before dinner? I forgot. It was so little. It's as if we didn't do anything. Of course, I can't remember. How could this person have the cheek to say that? Although it was only once, it was engraved in her heart. She was almost tortured to death by him. Just when Tang Bao was thinking that she might not be able to escape this ordeal, her cell phone rang. She couldn't help but struggle free from him. Go and shower first. I'll answer the call. Tang Bao ran over and took out her cell phone from her briefcase. She saw that it was an unknown number and it was a video call. Di Haotian stood aside with a dangerous look. Why aren't you answering the call? Chapter 901. As he spoke, he picked up the call. The other party's image immediately appeared. Tang Bao looked at the little guy in surprise. Bowling. Tang Bao. Di Bowling's cool face was about to melt when he saw Tang Bao. However, when he saw Di Haotian, he immediately froze. Tang Bao, and I have something to talk about. Can you give us some space? Di Haotian's face darkened. He was not allowed to leave. You go take a shower first. I'll talk to him. Tang Bao pushed Di Haotian. Di Haotian left reluctantly with a sour face. Di Bowling's mood improved when he did not see the tyrant. When he saw Tang Bao's face, he was even happier. Tang Bao, my daddy is going to pick me up today. I can't go to the castle. It's okay. You can come any time you want. Then I might not be able to go to the castle in the future. Why? My daddy has been at home recently. I have to accompany him. Tang Bao restrained his emotions and remained silent. Tang Bao, are you angry? No. Tang Bao forced a smile. It's just that I will miss you a lot. I want you to be by my side. Di Bowling was a little depressed. When Di Junbai said that Tang Bao had abandoned him, he should have been angry. However, he was not. When he saw Tang Bao, he missed him even more. How could he think of getting angry? He was thinking how good it would be if he could always be by Tang Bao's side. Moreover, Tang Bao had just said that she missed him and hoped that he would always be by her side. Tang Bao, is it possible for you to divorce Di Haoyin? Tang Bao was stunned. Why did this topic turn out like this? Leave Di Haoyin. Why? Why are you asking this question? Don't tell me you want me to be with Di Junbai. My daddy is so gentle. Choosing my daddy is the most suitable. Tang Bao knew that even she had been kept in the dark, let alone a child like Di Bowling. No matter how shrewd he was, he would never have thought that Di Junbai was a person with evil intentions. Can I call you mommy? Di Bowling suddenly asked. Tang Bao was stunned for a moment before tears welled up in her eyes. Okay. Her voice was trembling. Mommy. Di Bowling's clear and tender voice was heard. Mommy, I miss you. Tang Bao had to hold back his tears. Mommy misses you too. I miss you so much. Mommy, can't you come back to me? Do you like Di Haoyin very much? Di Bowling asked with an aggrieved look. Why don't you like Di Haoyin? Who asked him to steal you from my daddy? Di Bowling said unhappily. Bowling, I have nothing to do with your daddy. There's no such thing as stealing, Tang Bao corrected him. Di Bowling bit his red lips. He really wanted to say what was in his heart, but his daddy had said that he couldn't say it. Di Haoyin treats you very well. Haven't you noticed? Tang Bao asked. He has a motive. What motive? He treats me well so that he can make you happy, Di Bowling said meaningfully. Tang Bao was amused by his words. Why can he make me happy if he treats you well? Because you like me. Tang Bao smiled. Yes, I like you. But he's not trying to please you. He's sincerely treating you well. Think about it. After returning to the castle, Di Bang Han and Di Yunxi didn't sleep with me. Only you, Di Haoyin, allowed it. Di Bowling was speechless. It seemed like that was really the case. Thinking of something, Di Bowling said hesitantly, I think he might want me to be his son. Tang Bao was slightly stunned. Why do you say that? If I become his son, I can always stay in the castle and you won't be sad because you miss me. Tang Bao had to admit that his son's logic was very clear and strong. Could it be that both of his sons had inherited Di Haoyin's genes? Tang Bao really didn't want to admit that he only knew how to be naughty when he was young and that he was a total failure in his studies. The bathroom door opened and Di Haoyin, who had just finished showering, walked into the bedroom in his pajamas. Seeing that the two of them were still chatting, he walked over and appeared in front of the camera. Di Bowling was unhappy and said to Tang Bao, I'm going to sleep. Good night. Good night. Di Bowling kissed Tang Bao on the screen and then hung up the video call with a red face. Tang Bao looked at the screen in a daze. She couldn't help but smile. Are you feeling better? Di Haoyin asked as he hugged her. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Did he say anything? No. Tang Bao lowered her head and said as she saved Di Bowling's number. He really didn't say anything? No. Tang Bao's waist went numb and she fell back. Then, Di Haoyin's strong figure enveloped her. Are you going to say it or not? I'll say it, but you can't make trouble for Bowling. He doesn't seem to like you very much. Seems. Di Haoyin raised his eyebrows. Okay, he doesn't like you very much. He even asked me if he could divorce you. Di Haoyin's face darkened. I'm starting to wonder if he's my child. He doesn't know. He must have asked you to follow Di Junbai, right? Di Haoyin's face was cold. He was just saying it. I won't really do it. What else did he say? I want to know. Tang Bao thought of something, and her expression suddenly became happy. He called me mommy just now. He asked for it. Yes. I'm also very surprised. I was still thinking about how to say it. You don't know, but when he called me that for the first time, I felt so touched that I almost fainted. Tang Bao was still unable to calm down. She thought that it would take a while for Di Bowling to call her that. Di Haoyin did not say anything. There was a deep undercurrent in his deep black eyes, sharp and cold. In T's meeting room, the meeting had ended. At this moment, only Di Hao Ian, who was sitting at the head of the table, and Di Junbai, who was standing there. The entire meeting room was not filled with a solemn and dignified atmosphere. Instead, it was as cold as an ice cellar. Anyone who went in would feel a sense of immersion and terror, not to mention seeing Di Hao Ian's cold and gloomy face from afar. No one dared to go near him. But now, Di Junbai was here because of Di Hao Ian's orders. Di Hao Ian's cold black eyes stared at him. What else is there after that celebrity? Di Hao Ian's voice was so cold that it sounded like it came from hell. Chapter 902. Then, he was hit by a sudden punch. Ouch! Di Junbai groaned. He supported himself with one hand on the conference table to prevent himself from falling. Di Hao Ian's punch was not something an ordinary person could withstand. It was impossible not to bleed. At this moment, Di Junbai's mouth was bleeding. He felt like his jaw was about to break. Di Junbai frowned and said, "You're my brother. I've never complained when you hit me, but I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. I won't hurt bowling. Sometimes, I don't even know if he's your son or mine. He's really outstanding. I don't know if he's like you. If I have a son like him, I'll be lucky. Di Junbai, I'm warning you. If you hurt Tang Bao, I'll make you wish you were dead. I won't hurt her. I like her so much. Why would I hurt her? Brother, to be honest, I regret giving her to you. Why'd I let you have her? She clearly likes me. Or do you not know that she snatched the marriage because of me?" Di Hao Ian's face was cold. His low voice was cold. "If you missed it, you missed it. She'll never have anything to do with you again. If you want a son, I can make one for you now." Di Junbai's expression changed slightly. Once a person had a real weakness in their heart, it would be suspicious no matter how hard they tried to hide it. Therefore, Di Hao Ian saw it clearly. "Scared? But I can give you a chance. Don't force me to make a son for you. Modern technology is very advanced. It's a piece of cake for me." Di Hao Ian walked to Di Junbai's side and looked down at him as if he had the power of a god. "If I find out what you're doing again, remember, I'll rewrite your life." After he finished speaking, he straightened his messy sleeves and turned to leave the conference room. Di Junbai straightened up and wiped the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand. The back of his hand was bright red with blood. Waves of pain came from his jaw. "I know I've already missed it, but that doesn't mean I can't have it again. The one who has the last laugh is the winner, isn't it?" Tang Bao was working at his desk when someone knocked on the door. Do Gea appeared in the office refreshingly. When Tang Bao saw him, he put down his work and said, "Sit." Doga sat down opposite her desk. "I've sent you the photos. Have you seen them?" "I haven't had time to look at it yet. Let me check it now." Tang Bao opened his email. It was filled with photos that Doga had taken for Chengju for publicity purposes. Each of them displayed Chengju's charm and specialty, and Doga captured every single one of them. "That's great." Tang Bao nodded. "I'll be able to release a draft later." "That's good." Doga thought of something and asked, "Did you not watch the news?" "What news?" "Something happened to Kai Shizhen." "Are you referring to the news about Kai Shizhen drugging men online?" "Looks like you know. How could Tang Bao not know about it?" Mengshi had told her about it when she came in the morning, and she had also seen the news. Kai Shizhen's accident seemed to be a matter of no secret can be kept forever, but Tang Bao still felt that something was off. Now, Songhong Company was so angry that the higher-ups had held several meetings. Mengshi said that there would definitely be a replacement. Songhong probably wouldn't dare to cover it up. Even if Kai Shizhen was the most profitable in his family, he couldn't possibly lose the company. Artists could still be groomed. "Have you ever thought of letting Cheng Ju be the female lead?" Dogo asked. Tang Bao shook his head. "I don't plan to. The female lead of that drama isn't suitable for Cheng Ju. I have other arrangements for Cheng Ju." "That's fine too. If Cheng Ju is arranged to be in the movie after such a thing happened, it will indeed cause a stir." Doga looked at Tang Bao and asked, "Do you have time? Let's have a meal together." Tang Bao laughed. "I don't think I've treated you to a meal since you came to D City. I'm not here for you to treat me to a meal. It's okay. I want to treat you. Then I'll wait for you outside." "Okay." Tang Bao called Di Hao Yin. The other side picked up. Di Hao Yin, I'm going to have lunch with Do Gu in the afternoon. You can eat by yourself. Why do you have to eat with him? We're work partners. Why do you think we have to eat together? Tang Bao was afraid that Di Hao Yin's possessiveness would flare up. If that happened, she wouldn't be able to suppress it. It's just a meal. I'll come back after eating. Then you're thinking of abandoning me. Abandon him? Wasn't it just a meal without accompanying him? I can treat him to a meal. Forget it. Your rank is too high. I'm afraid he can't take it, Tang Bao said. I'll give you 40 minutes. 40 minutes? You think it's too little? Di Hao Yin's expression turned cold. No. What if it exceeds the limit? Tang Bao asked. This wasn't something she could control. That's easy. If it exceeds a minute, you'll let me do it again. Then if I exceed an hour, I might kill you. Really? I want to try. That's enough. Tang Bao face-bombed. She actually heard Di Hao Yin's perverted excitement. It wasn't Di Hao Yin who was going to kill her, but her. 40 minutes. Not a minute more. Think carefully. Got it. Tang Bao was helpless. After leaving the company, Tang Bao took the company car while Do Gu drove herself. After Tang Bao got into the car, she said to the driver, "Go to the nearest restaurant. Drive faster." President Tang, are you hungry? Yes, very hungry. Drive faster. Don't lose Do Ji's car behind us, Tang Bao said. The driver looked confused, but he quickly started the car and left. Do Gu, who was following behind, held the steering wheel and stepped on the accelerator. She wondered why Tang Ji's driver drove so fast. Tang Bao had no choice. She wanted to spend all her time eating. She didn't want to waste time on the road. She could eat slowly. When she got out of the car, Tang Bao noticed that Do Gu was looking at her. Tang Bao pretended that nothing had happened and said, "I was worried that you were hungry. I'm fine." With Do Ji's upbringing, even if she was hungry, she wouldn't drive so fast. It looked a little funny. In her mind, Tang Bao was a man with temperament and ability. He looked very fair and tender and needed protection, but he was very charming when he did things. Do Gu had never seen such a clean man in the entertainment industry. Even she didn't dare to say that she was clean. As they walked inside, Do Gu asked, "Do you want me to take a photo for you?" "Me? Forget it. I'm not going to be a celebrity. This doesn't have to be taken for the sake of being a celebrity. Everyone likes to keep their truest side. The future doesn't mean the past." Tang Bao thought about Do Ji's words and felt that she was right. She didn't seem to have taken any photos until now. It was pitifully few. Chapter 903. Perhaps she could also take a set of decent photos and put them at home to slowly admire, especially her own men's attire. At that time, all the photos taken at Belle's Talent were group photos. Meng Shi was in those group photos, and Di Hao Yin would never allow her to have them. So until now, she had always categorized those photos as work. I can accept this. When I have time, you can take photos for me. Okay. The two of them sat down in the elegant restaurant. They sat by the window and could see the street outside. They listened leisurely. The dishes here are not bad. I've eaten here a few times, so I brought you here to try them. Okay then. You order. Those dishes are delicious. You know more about them than a newcomer like me, Do Gu said. Tang Bao did not refuse. Okay, I'll order a few of their signature dishes first. After ordering, the dishes were served quite quickly. One by one, the dishes were served on exquisite plates. Just looking at them made one's appetite rise. While eating Tang Bao, she asked, "Have you gotten used to living here?" D-City is much more prosperous than Boiling City. The people and things you come into contact with are more extensive. There are many rich and powerful people here. That's true. When Tang Bao was in Boiling City back then, he did not have such a big burden. After all, she came from a big city. Tea is the symbol of this city. It's the most honorable. I've heard of the king of D-City before, but after arriving here, I realized that he was really a king, Do Gu said. Tang Bao thought that in front of outsiders, Di Hao Yin was mysterious and was a king. But in the castle, in front of her, he was a big demon king. He would torture her for no reason and was especially shameless. If others heard this, they They would not believe it. This man was too prim and proper outside. He would become indecent when he returned home. I grew up here, so I know him. Tang Bao smiled. Doga looked at Tang Bao and asked thoughtfully, "You know the people in T? I heard that the rented place of our studio was not rented out in the past." "Yes, I happen to have a friend who works in T. I'm sorry, Tang Ge. I didn't mean to pry into your affairs. I was having dinner with Sister Yu yesterday, and she mentioned you." "What did she say about me?" Tang Bao thought to himself. She couldn't have said anything about her relationship with Di Haoyan, right? That would be too scary. He said that he's been friends with you for many years. You didn't say anything back then. Why are you talking about this? I'm not looking for you because of this. I know. Sister, you said that your current rental has something to do with her husband. Her husband is one of the higher-ups in T. Doga said. Tang Bao was speechless. Yu Lianlian really knew how to talk. If Doga knew the truth in the future, wouldn't he say that they lied to him? Tang Bao could only smile and say, "Yes, that's him. That's good." Tang Bao nodded with a smile. Not only was it not bad, it didn't even cost rent. When they were almost done eating, Tang Bao went to the bathroom to wash his hands. She didn't use the bathroom when she was outside, so she used the sink by the door. She was dressed as a man, so she couldn't enter the women's bathroom, and she couldn't enter the men's bathroom either. Tang Bao stood in front of the mirror to rinse her mouth and wash her hands. When she looked up, she saw a second person in the mirror. He was standing behind her, looking at her in the mirror. What a coincidence. Di Junbai spoke first. Tang Bao didn't say anything, and he didn't even look happy. He lowered his gaze and continued to wash his hands. When she was in Boiling City, she had met Di Junbai once. At most, they were distant, but not as cold and hateful as now. No one would calmly face a person who had taken away their son. She would leave Di Junbai's matter to Di Haoyan to deal with. She didn't want to say anything more to such a person. Therefore, she shook the water off her hands and turned to leave. Are you going to treat me like this in the future? Di Junbai asked. Tang Bao paused slightly. How are you going to treat me? Tang Bao, I'm sorry. I took your son away for selfish reasons, but I've never wanted to hurt you. I don't even want to hurt you. Di Junbai looked at her calmly. Tang Bao turned around and looked at Di Junbai's face, which was as gentle as water. You took my son away. Isn't that the greatest harm you can do to me? And you did it so well. Di Junbai, I'm really surprised that you're such a person. To think that I've always treated you as a good friend. Are you sure you've always treated me as a good friend? Di Junbai asked directly. What do you mean? Did I do something to let you down? Di Junbai, I just realized that you're really not a simple person. I won't ask about the divorce agreement, but you shouldn't have taken my son away and separated us for 3 years. You even left bowling abroad. You're not his parents. You don't even understand the pain and reluctance. But I love you. Di Junbai growled. Tang Bao stood there in shock. Her expression was one of disbelief. What did you just say? What I regret the most is that I gave you to Di Haoyan on the day of our wedding. Then you never gave me a hint. How could you like me? Tang Bao felt like she was listening to a fantasy story. After all, she had done everything in her power to get Di Junbai. She had even dared to barge into their wedding. For him, she had tried her best to keep her chastity with Di Haoyan. But now, Di Junbai was telling her that he loved her? It was too ridiculous. I've liked you for a long time. It's just that before I could say anything, Di Haoyan plotted against me. He said he wanted you. What could I say? It's not like you don't know what kind of person he is. If he wants something, it can only be his. At that time, I wasn't sure if you really liked me, so I agreed. After that decision, I regretted it. That's why I went against him in every way. When I found out that you were pregnant and wanted to run away from him, I felt that my chance had come. In order to prevent Di Haoyan from snatching you away from me, I quietly swapped a child. But I didn't mean any harm. Otherwise, I wouldn't have treated Bowling so well and raised him all this time. Tang Bao was still in shock as she listened to Di Junbai's long speech. She liked Di Junbai so much, but Di Junbai, who she couldn't get, was now telling her the truth. Not only was she not happy, but she felt even more depressed and confused. No matter how unwilling you are, You shouldn't have plotted against my child. This is something I can't tolerate. Tang Bao, you don't have any feelings for Di Haoyan. You've just been forced by him. As long as you agree, I can protect you and you won't be hurt by him anymore. Tang Bao looked at the sincerity and affection in Di Junbai's eyes. She really didn't have any emotional fluctuations. If Di Junbai had said this to her in the past, she would have followed him without a care in the world. Chapter 904. He did not have any feelings for him at all. He even felt disgusted. I'm sorry. No matter how much I don't have feelings for Di Haoyan, I won't go with you. That's impossible, Tang Bao told him clearly. So, please don't scheme against us anymore. Since you don't have feelings for Di Haoyan, why do you want to go with him? Tang Bao, the person you love is me, not Di Haoyan. Yes, I didn't love Di Haoyan in the past. I even hated him when he forced me to marry him. But have you heard of the saying, love grows with time? I fell in love with him. His dominance, his possessiveness, and his care for me. Di Junbai, you don't understand how well Di Haoyan treated me. When Di Haoyan pushed me away and fell off the cliff with his car, I realized that I had already fallen in love with him. It's impossible for me to have feelings for anyone else. Do you understand? Are you saying that your feelings for me are fake? You dare to say that you've never loved me? Di Junbai asked agitatedly. It's too serious to say that I love you. At most, I like you. It's not love. Tang Bao ignored Di Junbai's absent-minded expression. Also, my son will always be mine. It's impossible for him to be yours, and it's even more impossible for him to be ours. After that, Tang Bao turned around and left without looking at him again. Dogu was about to get up and look for Tang Bao when he saw Tang Bao walking over with a calm expression. I thought you were lost, Dogu said jokingly. I met an unreasonable person just now, so I said a few more words. Dogu frowned. Are you okay? If I had known, I would have gone with you. You still don't believe in my strength? It's a piece of cake for me. Tang Bao did not dare to let him accompany him. Which toilet should he go to? That's good. Dogu nodded with a gentle smile on his face. He could not help but take another look at Tang Bao. When Tang Bao went back, he sat in the car and leaned against the back of the seat, looking at the scenery of the street outside the car window. She still could not believe what Di Junbai had said. Say he loved her? Was that why he did such a thing? Why did Di Haoyan not give her the feeling of disgust when he was so deep? Di Junbai was obviously harboring evil intentions, yet he still claimed that he was doing it for her. She didn't like that kind of emotion. When Tang Bao returned to the studio, even if the staff went to eat or rest, it would not be so quiet. That aura could be felt even from downstairs. Tang Bao went up to the second floor. The office door was open. As soon as she walked in, she saw Di Haoyan sitting on her chair and working on her computer. Have you eaten? Tang Bao asked. Yes. Di Haoyan tapped the table. You've exceeded the time limit. When Tang Bao met Di Junbai, she had forgotten the time. She raised her wrist and looked at it. It had been more than 10 minutes. 10 more times. Tang Bao was a little flustered and asked, You're not serious, are you? I've always kept my word. It's fine if you keep your word in other places, but don't be so serious about this. I don't have to keep my word in other places, but I have to keep my word in this place. Then I'll owe you first. Tang Bao asked. Okay, I'll add 2 more times to the original amount. That'll be 5 days. Tang Bao sat down on the sofa and froze. That'll be fine? She was really going to die. Di Haoyan really did not know what restraint was. He was definitely a huge beast. Turn off my computer. You're not allowed to look at it. That's my work privacy. I can't let outsiders touch it. Tang Bao changed the topic. Huh? Outsiders? Di Haoyan stood up. Tang Bao felt that she seemed to have said something wrong. However, when Di Haoyan's tall figure walked in front of her, she opened her arms and hugged Di Haoyan's strong waist. She lowered her head and pressed it against his lower abdomen. Di Haoyan's body trembled and his dark eyes deepened. Di Haoyan, tell me, how did I become your wife? If you could do it all over again, would you still scheme against me? Tang Bao asked sullenly. Yes, Di Haoyan said without hesitation. If you're in a relationship, I'll be your boyfriend. If you get married, I'll be your husband. No one else can get close to you. The mother of my children can only be you. No matter how you resist, it's useless. Tang Bao thought of her children with a satisfied smile on her face. She felt that it was fortunate that Di Hao Yin did not hear what she said to Di Junbai. Otherwise, Di Hao Yin would be so proud of himself. Di Hao Yin rubbed the head on his lower abdomen and looked down at her. He asked, "Are you seducing me?" Tang Bao's body stiffened slightly. She let go of Di Hao Yin's waist and looked up at him. "When was I seducing you? Didn't you realize that I was deliberately changing the topic? On purpose?" Di Hao Yin grabbed her chin and looked straight into her clear eyes. No matter how many children she had given birth to or how many years had passed, her eyes were still so clear and seductive that they could reach straight to his heart. "Yes, so there's no such thing as seduction. Don't think too much about it." Di Hao Yin slowly squatted down in front of Tang Bao. He looked at her intently and said in a low voice, "Tell me, should I have you here or in my lounge?" Tang Bao glared at him. "Don't do anything rash. We'll do it 2 more times tonight, okay?" Di Hao Yin's thin lips moved forward and kissed Tang Bao's defenseless little mouth. Even if Tang Bao was on guard, she had nowhere to run because Di Hao Yin's hand was holding her chin domineeringly. Tang Bao's face turned red. Wasn't he ashamed to think about such things in broad daylight? In any case, she felt her face heating up. "Can I refuse?" "Bao, you can refuse, but it's time for your afternoon nap," Di Hao Yin said against her little mouth. Tang Bao's face was red, and her breathing was unsteady. This person did not allow her to refuse at all, and even made it sound so nice. This was too much. "Wait, I have something to say." Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Yin could not wait any longer and hurriedly pushed Di Hao Yin away. Di say it. "How am I supposed to say it when you're blocking my mouth like this?" Tang Bao's little hand pushed Di Hao Yin's shoulder. Di Hao Yin only let go of her after he was done kissing her inside and out. His dark eyes were deep. "What's wrong? I want to ask you, did you do that to Kai Shizhen? Your husband is not that bad." Di Hao Yin's gaze was fixed on Tang Bao's red and swollen little mouth, like a beast staring at its delicious food. He was in danger of pouncing on her at any time. Tang Bao was very doubtful of his answer. Di Hao Yin's naughtiness was extremely terrifying. Did he still think that she was kind? Di Hao Yin and kindness were not related at all. Okay. Chapter 905. I'm just teaching her a little lesson. Di Hao Yin kissed her face. It was so tender that he wanted to take a bite out of it. A little? Looking at Kai Shizhen's current pitiful state, it seemed that even D-City could not tolerate her. I want her to know what will happen to her if she offends my woman. Di Hao Yin turned around and kissed Tang Bao's bright red lips. Oh, Tang Bao was already used to Di Hao Yin's actions. She could not say anything about Kai Shizhen. She could not do bad things. Besides, she was really frightened at that time. She even went to do a paternity test for her son. She could not forgive her for all these. It was only right to teach her a lesson. In the office of Tsang Hong Company, Kai Shizhen was crying nonstop. She no longer had the arrogance and pride from before, only fear and helplessness. She cried to Zhao Shijin, "President Zhao, I don't know what's going on either. In the past, when I was with men, I was fine. No news was exposed, but this time, all the news about this in the past were exposed. I drugged that man, but didn't that man feel better in the end and accept me?" "You've offended someone," Zhao Shijin said. "Then who did I offend? At most, I'll beg him to let me go." "The king of D-City." "What?" Kai Shizhen's crying face froze. "Since you've offended him, I don't dare to plead with you. Don't lose the company when the time comes." Kai Shizhen knew how powerful Di Hao Yin was. In D-City, he could cover the sky with one hand, and no one dared to offend him. But now, he had personally come to deal with her. It was obvious that the incident had been exposed. She was still thinking about when to continue mocking that man. At this time, Kai Shizhen knew who she should look for. After leaving Zhao Shijin's office, she called her sugar daddy. Di Junbai sat in the private room of the restaurant in a bad mood. The phone on the table rang. His gaze fell on it, and he looked at the caller ID. He was indifferent. It rang once. After hanging up, it called again. Di Junbai looked on coldly. When the phone rang for the third time, Di Junbai picked up the phone slowly and answered it. Kai Shizhen's voice immediately came from the other side. Her eagerness was a stark contrast to Di Junbai's indifference. Mr. D, please save me. Di Haoyan already knows what I've done. If I don't become a celebrity, I won't do anything else. I won't be able to live on. How dare you call me when you can't do a good job? Di Junbai's voice was low, revealing his ruthlessness. But haven't I been working hard all this while? Who knew that I would be exposed so quickly? Mr. D, I'm helping you. You have to protect me. Are you threatening me? Di Junbai asked calmly. No, I just want to stay in the entertainment industry. It's that simple. I can't even protect myself right now. Good luck to you. What? If you want to die, come and find me again. Di Junbai hung up the phone after saying that. Kai Shizhen was so scared that her face turned pale. When Di Junbai asked her to do things, she felt that this man was not simple. But now she realized that the Di family was not to be trifled with, especially Di Haoyan. Was she really at her wits' end now? Kai Shizhen thought of someone and turned to go to the office. Zhao Shijin had a headache seeing her now. After all, no one wanted to offend the king of D City. Why are you still here? Didn't I tell you that I can't help? President Zhao, there's someone else you can look for. Tangu. Isn't her studio working with Song Hong? And she has a close relationship with the Di family. You don't want to lose a general like me, right? Kai Shizhen seemed to be grasping at her only chance of survival and said anxiously, Tangu, I know that her studio is next to T. Yes, if they don't have a good relationship, how could T rent her place to someone else? Does T lack the money? So, President Zhao, please help me. If this doesn't work, then I'll really give up. Zhao Shijin was also considering this matter. If there was really such a thing, he could give it a try. After all, keeping Kai Shizhen could indeed make a lot of money for the company. If Tangu refused, there was nothing he could do about it, but he could also keep the company. Most importantly, he still hoped that Kai Shizhen could stay. Thus, he called Tangu. The phone rang, but no one answered. Of course, no one answered. Tang Bao was already too busy to care about her phone ringing. Even if her phone was ringing in the lounge, she couldn't care less. She was completely controlled and played by Di Haoyan. She was dizzy and couldn't control herself. Di Haoyan was like a beast. The sounds in the lounge made people blush and their bodies heat up. She felt like she was about to die. She couldn't stop crying. Bao. Di Haoyan kept kissing her like a wild beast. Tang Bao couldn't even speak. Her face was red, and her breathing was rapid. The tears at the corners of her eyes had not dried yet, and they flowed out again. How was this an afternoon nap? This afternoon nap was simply too tiring. When Tang Bao woke up, the sky was almost dark. She felt that she was being held tightly. She didn't need to look up to know who it was. Tang Bao felt that her body was going to be paralyzed when she moved, especially her waist. As soon as she moved, Di Haoyan's kiss came closer. Bao, you're awake? Go away. Tang Bao turned her face away weakly, refusing to let him kiss her. Go where? Di Haoyan didn't let her go. His teeth kept nibbling on her tender face. Tang Bao couldn't avoid him. She was annoyed. Can you reduce the amount at night? Tang Bao got even angrier. Don't tell me you don't know how much you want. You know. I don't know. Tang Bao's face was red. But it must be a lot, okay? Di Haoyan kissed her dotingly. Tang Bao was in a better mood after hearing that, so she let Di Haoyan kiss her. She cooperated with him. Di Haoyan's breathing was a little heavy. Tang Bao felt that she was going to be eaten by him. Don't. Tang Bao pushed him away. If he continued to kiss her, she wouldn't be able to go back tonight. I'll just kiss you. You'll kiss me again after a while. Did my phone ring? Tang Bao asked. It should have. What should have? Go get it for me. I'll see if it's an important call. Tang Bao pushed him. It wouldn't be good if she missed it. After all, she wanted to take care of her company seriously now. Di Haoyan nibbled on her lips before he turned around and got out of bed. He took a look at her phone before passing it to Tang Bao. Chapter 906. However, Why did Di Hao Ian's face turn cold in an instant? His gaze fell on the screen. It was actually Zhao Shijin calling. What's the matter? However, he also understood why Di Hao Ian's expression turned sour. It was because Zhao Shijin was a man. Tang Bao called back. When the call connected, Zhao Shijin's voice came through. Is this Tang Ge? Yes. I'm sorry, President Zhao. I didn't have my phone with me, so I didn't notice your call. Why are you looking for me? Tang Bao asked. You know about Kai Shizhen, right? I think there are very few people who don't know. After all, this matter has blown up quite a lot, Tang Bao admitted. I was thinking that Kai Shizhen really can't be used. That drama with Meng, she is still filming. Don't you still have Chengju? Why don't you let Chengju film it? Tang Bao's heart sank. Find Chengju. Why did he feel that Zhao Shijin was just testing him? Even without Kai Shizhen, Song Hong had more than one Kai Shizhen. She was not as good as Kai Shizhen, but she had more experience than Chengju. She was also more famous. Why would he think of using Chengju? Tang Bao smiled and said, that's not a bad idea. However, Chengju doesn't have any free time at the moment. I'm afraid she can't act. Doesn't Song Hong have other celebrities? They're all not bad. There are also a few female leads who have acted before. They could take on the role. Since you think so, we'll work together in the future. When Tang Bao heard Zhao Shijin's words, he was even more certain of his guess. However, I really like Kai Shizhen. Moreover, this drama is produced by Song Hong. If we replace her, we'll have to pay for the funds. What do you think? Indeed, it's more troublesome to replace her in all aspects. Besides, more than half of the drama is already filming. Therefore, I still hope that Kai Shizhen will continue filming. Tang Ge, I heard that you're closer to T's people. Can you help me with this? Because Kai Shizhen said that she offended the king of Imperial City. I wonder if you can put in a few good words and let Kai Shizhen go? Zhao Shijin asked politely. Tang Bao glanced at Di Hao Ian, who was leaning against the headboard lazily, and said, I do know someone from T, but you know T is so old, and he rarely sees the leader of T. I'm afraid it'll be difficult. To be able to give T's territory to you, you must have a good relationship with him, right? Tang Bao said calmly. Since Kai Shizhen has offended such a person, it must be a serious matter. I think President Zhao, you can choose another female lead. Also, Mr. Zhao, let me tell you the truth. Others don't know that I'm the one who rented the studio. They think that it's T's people. If the leader of T found out about this, it would be troublesome. He might even take revenge on me and directly make Meng she unable to stay in the entertainment industry. At that time, it would be even worse. What do you think? Before she could finish speaking, Di Hao Ian listened to her with a doting smile in his dark eyes. He even touched her. Tang Bao dodged a few times, but was unable to dodge. She was distracted by Zhao Shijin while talking to him, especially when she met Di Hao Ian's dark eyes. Her face was a little red. After all, she was talking nonsense in front of Di Hao Ian. So that's how it is? President Zhao, no one knows about this. You must keep it a secret for me. Tang Bao said with a smile. Sigh, all right then. It's just a pity. President Zhao, at this time, you can only bear the pain and give up. After all, if you continue to use Kai Shizhen, it won't be good for Song Hong. Also, Shi Xiao's company definitely knows about it. I'm just afraid that Shi Xiao will interfere. What do you think? Zhao Shijin's expression became serious after hearing Tang Bao's analysis. Indeed, standing at the top of the entertainment industry had its pros and cons. Many people might be waiting to see him make a fool of himself and hit him when he was down. Okay, I got it. We can only replace her. But President Zhao, Meng, she's part has already been filmed. If we want to reshoot the scenes with the female lead, do you think? Don't worry about that. We won't let Meng she suffer a loss. We'll add a few more scenes. They'll all be paid. Thank you, President Zhao. Tang Bao was grateful. After hanging up the phone, Tang Bao scrolled through the other messages on her phone. Actually, she did not have to worry. When she signed the contract, it was already written clearly in it. Fortunately, she was more cautious. In the entertainment industry, if one was not smart enough, things would happen anytime and anywhere. No one would expect it. Otherwise, they would suffer a big loss. For example, In the area of managing artists, wasn't a person like Kai Shizhen spoiled by Song Hong? She liked to play with men and even used disgusting methods. How could Song Hong not know? Didn't he turn a blind eye to it, thinking that his family was powerful enough and nothing would happen? Who knew that he would provoke Di Hao Ian? Everyone knew that the Di family did not care about the entertainment industry's little money. It could only be said that Song Hong deserved it. Therefore, in the area of managing artists, Tang Bao first valued Cheng Zhu and Meng Shi's character. If she found out that an artist was misbehaving, she would definitely deal with it seriously. She would not wait for others to dig it out. It was best not to have the mentality of getting lucky. Tang Bao's wrist that was holding the phone tightened. Di Hao Ian yanked her over and slammed into Di Hao Ian's firm chest. Ah! Tang Bao was shocked. Her phone was snatched away by Di Hao Ian. What are you doing? You're done with the call. Can you notice me now? It's only a few minutes. Is it as insignificant as you say? Tang Bao looked up and glared at him. In the future, you're not allowed to talk to a man for more than 10 seconds on the phone, Di Hao Ian demanded domineeringly. I didn't talk for long, right? Tang Bao could not believe it. Did he have to calculate this? 2 minutes and 30 seconds. How much did you say it was? Tang Bao met Di Hao Ian's deep and dangerous gaze. She was really flustered. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It was only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He was actually unhappy. I have a working relationship with manager Song Hong, so I have to keep in touch. Aren't you being a little too overbearing? I know that you need to talk to him for 10 minutes. Otherwise, why do you think I would be so generous? Generous? Tang Bao wondered if she had some misunderstanding about being generous. Forget it. It was more important to appease her now. Okay, I'll try my best to shorten the time in the future. Not try your best, but you must. Okay. Di Hao Ian's thin lips kissed her little mouth. Aren't you hungry? Tang Bao, who could not avoid him, pursed her lips. Her face was red as she said, Then I'll get up. I'll help you get dressed. Di Hao Ian said as he got out of bed to get her clothes. When he brought the clothes over, he saw that Tang Bao was looking at him. He said, Do you think I only know how to take off clothes? Tang Bao's face heated up. She was not thinking about that. She was only thinking that if Di Hao Ian fed her, when would she be upgraded to needing Di Hao Ian to help her put on her clothes? Chapter 907. No, hubby will take care of you. Di Hao Ian nibbled on her lips gently. His voice was low and affectionate. You just need to stretch out your arms and open your mouth. This is strange. I'm younger than the children, but they all wear their own clothes. Tang Bao felt that if the children knew about this, she would not be able to show her face. After all, she was the mother of the 3 children. Couldn't she be a good role model? Why didn't Di Hao Ian have any awareness at all? You're my favorite. They can only watch even if they're jealous. Di Hao Ian said calmly as he helped her put on her clothes. Tang Bao was speechless. How could he say that? After Di Hao Ian helped her put on her clothes, he went to put on his own clothes. Tang Bao moved her body to get off the bed. Every time he moved, he could hear the bones in his body creaking. It was as if she had been hit by a train. When her feet touched the ground, she was about to stand up, but her legs gave way and she fell forward. Tang Bao was so shocked that her eyes widened. She could only watch as she fell forward. However, she did not fall to the ground. Her vision was dizzy, and she fell into Di Hao Ian's arms. Tang Bao felt as if she had survived a disaster. Your body can't take it. Let hubby carry you. Tang Bao punched his chest angrily. You still have the cheek to say that? It's all your fault. Yes, it's my fault. I shouldn't have made you unable to get off the bed. Di Hao Ian looked at her affectionately. I can walk on my own. Falling down is considered walking? Huh? Tang Bao blushed. Who said that? I lost my footing just now, that's why I fell. This can happen to normal people too. Hubby will carry you out. Di Hao Ian, put me down. I can walk on my own. Before Tang Bao could finish her words, Di Hao Ian carried her easily. Tang Bao looked flustered. Although it wasn't her first time, how could she remain calm? There was no way Di Hao Ian would listen to her and carry her out just like that. Walking out of the office, Tang Bao saw that she could not change the cruel reality. She could only bury her head in Di Hao Yan's broad shoulders. Can't she just pretend to be an ostrich? Just as she was walking towards the elevator and pretending to be an ostrich, she heard a voice. Young master. Tang Bao did not need to raise his head to know whose voice it was. It was Di Junbai. It was such a coincidence that he was still in tea. However, after seeing Tang Bao once during the day, he did not want to see Di Junbai again, especially the words he had said to her. Therefore, she did not raise her head. She did not want to have anything to do with Di Junbai. She did not even want to exchange glances with him. After entering the elevator, Di Hao Yan's whole body was overflowing with cold air. The enclosed elevator was like a small ice cellar. Tang Bao, who was being hugged, felt even more hurt. Di Hao Yan, are you angry? You've seen Di Junbai before, Di Hao Yan said with certainty. Tang Bao tried her best to appear calm. Why do you ask? He took your son away, but you're not even angry. Unless you've already been angry, or are you feeling guilty? Di Hao Yan turned his face and looked at her coldly. Tang Bao did not expect Di Hao Yan to be so scheming. Whether she spoke or not, Di Hao Yan seemed to be able to detect the problem, unless it had never happened to her. Under Di Hao Yan's sharp gaze, Tang Bao lowered her gaze slightly. I went for lunch with Dogu in the afternoon and met him. What did you talk about? The elevator is about to open. Let's talk in the car. Tang Bao felt that it would be dangerous to be hugged by Di Hao Yan like this. Would he be angry and throw her out? Di Hao Yan did not force her. After the elevator door opened, he carried her out of the elevator and got into the car in the underground parking lot. However, Tang Bao did not dare to look at his face. Di Hao Yan was so possessive. How could he tolerate such a thing being kept from him? Although Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Yan was too domineering and overbearing, she did not dare to go against him at this moment. Wouldn't that be asking for trouble? When they got into the car, the atmosphere in the car was the same as in the elevator just now. The temperature plummeted. The car had already driven out of tea. Tang Bao looked out of the car window and met Di Hao Yan's dark and cold eyes. She looked a little uncomfortable. If I tell you, you can't be angry. I can try. Could Tang Bao still ask for a yard after getting an inch? Di Hao Yan had already said that he could try. To him, this was already an extension of time, right? Although to Tang Bao, it was still so terrifying, even unknown to her. However, at this time, she did not have the luxury of making a choice. I don't think it was a coincidence. He went to look for me on purpose. He said something to me. He said that he had no choice but to take bowling away. He just couldn't take it lying down. What he did was nothing more than revenge. Then I argued with him. That's all. Di Hao Yan's dark eyes narrowed slightly. What else? He explained that he took the child away. Do you think I should forgive him just because of his explanation? Actually, before I found out that bowling was taken away, a lot of things happened. I already felt that Di Junbai is not a simple person. When I met him, I had always been prejudiced by his gentle and elegant side. No one would have thought that such a person has another side. Tang Bao could not help but sigh and mock herself. I didn't tell you because I really didn't want this to affect my mood. Besides, you said that you can settle Di Junbai's matter. I don't need to care. Even so, you should have told me about your meeting. Di Hao Yan's face was cold. What else can he do in broad daylight? I know what I'm doing. If there's anything wrong with him, I'll tell you. Tang Bao was really afraid that Di Hao Yan's possessiveness would act up. She could pacify Di Hao Yan in other aspects, but when it came to matters related to the opposite sex, she could not. Don't do it again. Di Hao Yan warned her dangerously. She was really unhappy to be controlled like a general teaching a subordinate a lesson, but she could only keep it to herself. Okay. Then Tang Bao did not say anything. She sat there and looked out the car window. She did not look at Di Hao Yan either. Di Hao Yan looked at Tang Bao in silence. He suppressed the agitation in his heart, reached out, and put his arm around her waist to sit on his lap. Are you angry? I wouldn't dare. Tang Bao was still looking out of the car window. I've told you before that you're not allowed to go near Di Junbai. Whether it's a coincidence or he's deliberately looking for you, if you really can't avoid it, call me and I'll settle it. Or do you want me to put a tracking device on you? Di Haoyan threatened her with a dark face. Chapter 908. No, I can't wait to tie you to my belt every day. Tang Bao was speechless. She was so angry that she tugged at Di Haoyan with both hands. Demon Di Haoyan, is there anyone as domineering as you? Di Haoyan allowed her to mess up his suit and shirt, but he refused to let go of her waist. It's not the first day you've known me. Hubby likes to hog you every day. Tang Bao stopped tugging at him and punched his chest angrily. The strength of that punch was nothing more than a tickle to Di Haoyan. He grabbed her hand and held her fair and slender fingers. Her fingers were a little red from pulling at his shirt. Di Haoyan stared at her, opened his thin lips slightly, and kissed her. Tang Bao's hands trembled visibly, and her face turned red. It was as if an electric current had passed through her fingers and spread to her entire body. The scorching hot air gushed out, scorching her skin, body, and mind. He was not kissing her lips, but she felt suffocated and dizzy. Di Haoyan raised his face. His dark eyes were deep and vast, as if the universe was going to swallow Tang Bao up. Tang Bao felt that her head was going to faint. She wanted to look away, but she could not. It was as if she was being sucked in. Does it still hurt? No, it doesn't hurt anymore. Not only did it not hurt, but the discomfort that Di Haoyan's perverted possessiveness had also disappeared. If it hurts, hubby, continue. No, it's okay. Tang Bao blushed and pulled her hand back. She felt that something was wrong if he continued to kiss her. Especially her heart. It felt as if it was being controlled by something. The feeling of losing control was terrifying. However, she felt that Di Haoyan seemed to be suppressing something in his heart. He was suppressing it with all his might. It was as if the moment he relaxed, the tyrannical aura in his body would leak out. Tang Bao thought about her meeting with Di Junbai. She knew that Di Haoyan must be angry because of this. It was not her first day with Di Haoyan. As long as it was related to the opposite sex, he would become especially cold and deep, as if his entire body was emitting an inviolable and terrifying temperature. Tang Bao felt that, especially at a time like this, he should go and pacify her. The atmosphere in the car was quiet, as if only their heartbeats could be heard. Tang Bao lowered his gaze and placed his hands on Di Haoyan's broad shoulders. He also rested his head on them. Even through the expensive suit, she could still feel the man's firmness and warmth. There was also Di Haoyan's scent. It was so overbearing that there was nowhere to hide. She stopped hiding and let nature take its course. She smelled Di Haoyan. Tang Bao's actions were undoubtedly a blow to Di Haoyan's heart. His dark eyes were startled. Tang Bao's docility and initiative made his heart throb intensely. His ice-cold heart was about to melt. He deliberately asked in a low and hoarse voice, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." Tang Bao wanted to say something, but stopped. In the end, he said softly, "Di Haoyan, there's something I want to say." Di Haoyan's dark eyes narrowed. "That year, I went to rob Di Junbai's wedding, and you robbed mine. I thought it was very good." Tang Bao's face was red when he said this. Therefore, he buried his face deeply. It was better to be an ostrich than to say this face to face. This was the first time she had said such things to Di Haoyan. This was undoubtedly telling Di Haoyan that he had done the right thing back then. Although she didn't think it was too straightforward, she had already reached her limit. Her head was buzzing, and she could hear her heartbeat speeding up. "What did you say?" Di Haoyan pushed her away from his eyes. He grabbed her chin and looked at her intently. Say? Say what? I've already said it just now." "Say it again." Di Haoyan's voice was hoarse. "Bao, say it again." "I won't say it." Tang Bao's face was red. "Hurry up and say it." Di Haoyan forced her. "That year, I went to rob Di Junbai's wedding, and you robbed mine. I thought it was very good." Tang Bao had no choice but to repeat it. "What was good?" Tang Bao's gaze trembled slightly. "What was good about it?" "You clearly said that you would say it again. Why are you still asking? If there's something I don't understand, you should clarify for your husband." What was good about it?" "It was that I married you, okay? What was good about it?" Tang Bao's heart was filled with black lines. Was this person prepared to go on and on? Looking at Di Hao Ian's dark eyes, she rolled her clear eyes with a hint of slyness. You're better looking than him, richer than him, gentler than him, smarter than him, more charming than him, and a lot more. That's all. There's a lot more. I can't remember at the moment. I'll tell you when I remember. Okay? Tang Bao asked, blinking her eyes. Di Hao Ian's dark eyes stared at her with a hint of sharpness and danger. Tang Bao turned around and wanted to escape. With her waist held, where could she escape to? Di Hao Ian pressed her down on the seat. Tang Bao was lying on the chair in shock. Under the black hair on his forehead was a pair of clear eyes. Although his eyes were filled with shock, his face was red as he looked up at the handsome face that was as handsome as a sculpture. What are you doing? Are you going to tell me you're not? You're not allowed to force me. If you force me, I'll take back what I said to you at the beginning. Tang Bao pouted and said with her heart beating like a drum. You're not allowed to take it back, Di Hao Ian said in a low and threatening voice. Then he kissed Tang Bao's pouted lips like a madman and kissed her fiercely. MMM. Tang Bao could not take it anymore. Her clear eyes trembled. Her heartbeat sped up as Di Hao Ian kissed her forcefully, as if it was going to jump out of her chest. She knew her own heart all too well. The words she did not say were very heavy. She thanked Di Hao Ian for stopping her from snatching Di Junbai's wedding the other day. She thanked him for being overbearing. Otherwise, she did not know what would have happened if she had been with Di Junbai now. She would not have known the difference between liking someone and loving someone. She felt that her heart had changed from resisting at the beginning to taking Di Hao Ian's surname. The next day, Tang Bao looked at the time and went to the set to look for Meng Shi. She already knew who the female lead was. Most of the scenes were scenes with the male and female leads. She wanted to see how it would be filmed. She could not let her own artist suffer. Although Meng Shi had called her and said that he was a little tyrant and could handle it, as an agent, Tang Bao could not ignore it. But unexpectedly, before the car could even enter the set, it was stopped at the entrance. It was Kai Shizhen. Chapter 909. Can you help me with T's matter? Di Junbai was the one who did all this. I'm just working for his money. Tang Bao was a little stunned. She had guessed it at that time and had asked Di Hao Ian if Di Junbai was the one who did it. Di Hao Ian had not answered her and had only said that he would deal with it. Now that Kai Shizhen had said so, he was even more certain that she was right. Di Junbai, you've really impressed me. You've put in a lot of effort to break me and Di Hao Ian apart. What do you want to say to me? Tang Bao looked at her indifferently. Her face, which was covered with makeup, looked very emotionless. I just want to say, can you let me off the hook for this incident? After all, I'm also a victim. I'm innocent. Everything I said is true. I didn't lie to you. Think about it. With my ability, how would I know about the Di family's secrets? Kai Shizhen begged for mercy. Tang Bao sat in the car and looked at her indifferently. If that's the case, you should look for Di Junbai, not me. I've already looked for him, but he couldn't help me. He kicked me to the curb after I've outlived my usefulness. Then didn't you get to know him better before you worked with him? I'm really sorry. This matter concerns me. How can I help you? Also, Tang Bao looked at her coldly. Even if I had the ability, I wouldn't help you. Why? Di Junbai treated you so badly. Why do you want to be like him? Kai Shizhen asked. Like him? You should go and ask around. I hate people who only care about profit the most. Miss Kai, no one should look for a way out for themselves. It's even more so in the entertainment industry. If you go overboard, there will always be a time of bad luck. What do you think? Tang Bao said mercilessly and asked the chauffeur to drive off. The car drove forward and left Kai Shizhen far behind. Tang Bao would not be merciful at all. If she were to be merciful to such people, would she still be the Tang Gu of the entertainment industry? Mercy was not her motto. Not to mention, this woman had suffered retribution for framing her. She would not help her. To think that she could think of coming over to look for her. When Tang Bao entered the set, Meng, she was flipping out with the director. When the director saw her walking over, he immediately said, Manager Tang, look at your artists. How am I supposed to continue filming if they don't do this and that? Tang Bao looked at Meng Shi, who had suppressed her temper, and asked the director, "What's wrong? We still have to film the scenes that should be filmed, but no matter how many times we film, he can't pass it." After a few more takes, "He loses his temper," the director said. Tang Bao knew that Meng Shi was not such a person. There must be a reason. "I'm sorry, director. I'll talk to him." Tang Bao pulled Meng Shi to the resting area and asked, "What's the truth?" Meng Shi looked a little uncomfortable, and his eyes darted left and right. "It's nothing." "Nothing. Would you argue with the director for no reason? It's not like it's my first day knowing you." Tang Bao would not be fooled by him. "It won't happen again." Meng Shi lowered his head. "If you're not in a good state, I'll talk to the director." Tang Bao turned around and left, but Meng Shi pulled it back. Tang Bao looked at him in confusion. "Do you trust me that much? Maybe it's my fault." Meng Shi looked at him intently with a deep gaze. It was as if he did not want Tang Bao to indulge him so much. He hoped that Tang Bao would be fiercer to him so that he would feel better. "You're my artist, so I have to take your emotions into consideration. Besides, if you're not in the right mood, the scenes won't look good." Meng Shi let go of Tang Bao's hand and said, "It's nothing. It's just my family situation. It'll be fine once it's settled." "Is it very serious?" "You know my family situation. My father is my biological father, and my mother is my stepmother. My father is seriously ill now, and my stepmother is doing whatever she wants at home. And that daughter of hers actually wants to enter the entertainment industry. Also, Tang Bao's marriage made him very frustrated and depressed." Tang Bao was gloomy. "What are you trying to say? Why did you marry Di Haoyan?" Tang Bao looked at him in a daze. "You're trying to express a lot of things, but why did you suddenly ask such a question? No, that's not right. How did you know that I'm married?" Tang Bao did not deny it. He was just curious how Meng Shi knew about this. He remembered that he did not tell anyone. "Bao told me." Tang Bao was confused. Why would Bao tell Meng Shi all this? Her face stiffened when she thought of a certain person. If it wasn't for Di Haoyan, would Bao say this for no reason? They were really a big devil and a little devil. They actually schemed against her behind her back. "Tangge, you haven't answered me yet. Why did you marry Di Haoyan? That man doesn't know how to write the word gentle at first glance. Are you sure you want to spend the rest of your life with him?" Tang Bao looked at him with a serious expression. "Yes, this is my decision. I want to be with him for the rest of my life." "But what you see is just the surface. It doesn't represent everything." Tang Bao interrupted him. "Do you like him that much? I forgot to tell you that we used to be a couple." "What?" "There were many twists and turns between us. We only got to where we are today after going around in circles. I want to cherish it. Meng Shi, a lot of things happened between me and him. A lot of tests. You won't understand," Tang Bao told him. "So you two have rekindled old feelings. That means that there are still many problems between you and him. Aren't you worried that something will upset you again?" Meng Shi pulled a long face. He felt that Tang Ge, who had always been smart and decisive in his heart, was too careless when she did this. "Maybe, but at least I'm very satisfied now," Tang Bao said sincerely. Moreover, she didn't want Meng Shi to have any obsession with her that he shouldn't have. Looking at Meng Shi's silent expression, she didn't mind giving him another blow. "I will only have him in my life. There will be no one else." "How old are you? How can you say things about your whole life so casually?" "Yes, but that's what I said," Tang Bao said without backing down. "Do you have to be so heartless to me?" Meng Shi's face was ashen. "I remember that you can't forget your first love. Why did you change your mind to me?" Tang Bao asked in confusion. Meng Shi was a little hesitant, but he still said, "I don't know either. I realize that more and more people are appearing in my mind now. I rarely think of my first love. Tangge, I can't accept this." Tang Bao looked at his unhappy and arrogant expression and couldn't help but laugh. "There's nothing you can do when you can't accept this kind of thing. However, you don't seem to be in such a state today just because of this matter, right? Is your family okay?" Chapter 9:10. Then can you focus on filming today? If not, I'll tell the director. Tang Bao, I want to hug you. Can I? Mengshi looked at Tang Bao longingly. No. Tang Bao refused. Can you film or not? I want to hug you. I said no. How can you be so cruel? Tang Bao thought to himself. If I'm not cruel to you, if Di Haoyan finds out, I'll be the one being cruel. Other than my man and child, I'm cruel to everyone. I'll ask you again, can you work hard? Yes. Mengshi's face was tense, and his expression was aggrieved and angry. Tang Bao patted him on the shoulder to comfort him and turned to leave. After taking a few steps, he turned back and asked, What's your sister's name? Chun Yao. Tang Bao nodded. If she knew more, she would not be confused when something happened. Don't worry, I won't let her come to the entertainment industry and be an eyesore to me. Okay, I'm leaving. She stared at Tang Bao's departing figure. Tang Bao ignored him and could not help but find it funny. How'd she end up being targeted by Mengshi? Moreover, she could tell that even after saying so much, Mengshi's mind was still not clear. It really annoyed her. If Di Haoyan, that vinegar jar, found out, she would have to waste a lot of time explaining. When Tang Bao returned to the studio, he was ordered to go to tea by Di Haoyan. As soon as he entered the director's office, he was greeted with a sense of grandeur and aura. Everywhere was filled with the atmosphere of nobility and power. When Tang Bao walked in, she did not see Di Haoyan. She only saw the snacks on the table, which were all her favorites in the past. Tang Bao picked up one and took a bite. It melted in her mouth and tasted the same as before. She had not eaten sweets for 3 years and was about to break. Now that she had been fed by Di Haoyan, she would feel uncomfortable if she did not eat anything for a day. Tang Bao was shocked. Could it be that Di Haoyan had added something to the cake? Could this be addictive as well? She had heard of a saying before. If he gave her food every day and didn't give her food, she would feel that something was wrong and insist on eating. This is called starvation therapy. Outside the office, in the young master's exclusive tea room, a tall figure was busy inside. The secretary saw it and hurriedly ran over. Young master, what do you want? Let me do it. No need. Di Haoyan did not even raise his head. The secretary stood there in fear. As a secretary, he believed that he was very insightful in his work. Now, when a young master needed something to drink, he actually didn't help the young master get it. Instead, the young master had to come over personally. This was his fault. He began to doubt his ability to work. He felt even more uneasy. Di Haoyan finished the things in his hands and turned around. Seeing that the secretary was still standing there, he asked, What's the matter? The secretary's gaze fell on the red juice in the cup in Di Haoyan's hand. Was that strawberry juice? He couldn't believe it. Since when did the young master like strawberry juice, which was very girly? The secretary felt Di Haoyan's sharp and cold gaze and quickly came back to his senses. It's nothing. He stood respectfully at the side and watched Di Haoyan walk past him with the strawberry juice and enter the office. He was suddenly enlightened. This strawberry juice was for that man. He was wondering how the young master could like this kind of juice. It was completely what girls like to drink. But that was a man, not a woman. It was really unheard of. However, if the young master liked it, it was none of their business. If the young master liked it, they had to cater to him. The office door opened without warning. Tang Bao, who was eating cake, choked. A glass of fruit juice was brought to her mouth at the right time, and she drank the strawberry juice. She drank a few mouthfuls and suppressed it before it went smoothly. Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyan with a flushed face, then looked at the strawberry juice in the glass and took it. As she drank, she wondered if this person had gone to stop the strawberry juice for her. She didn't see strawberry juice in the office just now. You're so excited to see your husband? Di Haoyan stroked her back and pressed his strong chest against hers. Tang Bao felt that her back was hot. This heat spread along the nerves on her back all the way to her face. How would I know that it was you who came in? Who else do you think would come in without knocking? Di Haoyan asked in a low voice. Tang Bao's face was red, and she felt uncomfortable. She didn't say anything. Does it taste good? Tang Bao's voice was low as if she was embarrassed to say it. Is my water better? Or is the strawberry juice better? The heat that Tang Bao had suppressed with much difficulty suddenly surged up. She knew what Di Haotian meant. Did he have to use such an analogy? You don't want to say it? Hmm? Di Haotian tightened his grip on her waist. Tang Bao felt that if she didn't say it, her waist would be broken by him. The strawberry juice is good. Of course. She wouldn't say another answer. Really? Then try it again. I haven't kissed you for a long time. You must have forgotten the taste. Di Haotian don't. Tang Bao was so scared that she struggled and ran forward. But her body was still running forward, and her waist was still in Di Haotian's grip. As she struggled, the glass in her hand was taken away by Di Haotian. He put aside and pressed her body against the office table. Tang Bao looked at Di Haotian, who was approaching her warily. Her face was red, and she looked nervous. I'm telling you, don't mess around. This is your office. Bao, do you think your husband will care? Di Haotian's voice was low and hoarse, as if there was a strong sense of danger. Tang Bao seemed to remember that Di Haotian really didn't care. This was because he had done worse things in the past. She felt that Di Haotian would give the whole tea company a holiday for his purpose. He would definitely do it. Your drink is good, okay? Tang Bao said with a red face. You remember now? Di Haotian's dark eyes looked at her like a beast. Yes, I remember. I remember now. Can you stop pressing on me like this? MMM. Before Tang Bao could finish her words, her small mouth was devoured. Tang Bao was kissed until she fell on the office table. She was panting and her eyes were hazy with tears. Above her was Di Haotian's chiseled face. Di Haotian kissed her red and swollen lips. Tang Bao felt that her lips were about to melt. After enough oxygen entered her brain, she reached out and pushed Di Haotian. Her voice was slightly hoarse. Have you had enough? Let me up. Bao, you shouldn't ask that, Di Haotian said in a low and hoarse voice. Chapter 9:11. You're asking me if I've had enough. Do you think I'll have enough? Tang Bao was speechless. Then, how should I answer? You should say, I'll give it to you tonight. Let me rest now. Then I'll let you go. Say it. Tang Bao pursed his lips. You're not going to say it? Tang Bao saw the evil look in Di Haotian's dark eyes. If she didn't say it, Di Haotian would be very happy, right? Because he would have a reason to bully her. Tang Bao had just opened his mouth when the phone on the desk vibrated. Without looking, Tang Bao knew that it must be Di Haotian. Her phone was still in her briefcase. Di Haotian's dark eyebrows were slightly furrowed in displeasure. He looked up slightly and answered the phone. Tang Bao could not hear what was said on the other end. However, Di Haotian's fierce expression was much better. Asking to come up, Di Haotian hung up the phone after saying that. Tang Bao looked at Di Haotian's expression and asked, Who's coming up? Could it be someone important? Otherwise, according to Di Haotian's beastly character, he would not let her go so easily. If you're right, I'll let you go. How would I guess that? Stop fooling around. Let me get up. Tang Bao pushed him, but Di Haotian's gaze was so strong that he would not let her go if she did not guess. Then give me a hint. For example, is he T's man? No. You and I both know each other. Yes. A man? That's right, Tang Bao thought. Who else could it be if he's not T's man? Meng Shi? Impossible. She had just gone to see Meng Shi. Besides, if Meng Shi was looking for her, he would call her. It was even more impossible for the people in the studio. Gulinshan? Tang Bao could only think of this person. Di Haotian's face immediately darkened. Why would you think of him? Who allowed you to guess his name first? Aren't you the one who asked me to guess? We know each other, and it's not T. Who else can I guess? Tang Bao was depressed. This person should at least have some basis for being overbearing, okay? He was the one who brought it up. Also, who the hell was Gu Linshan? Was it worth his possessiveness? She had been wronged, all right? I'm not guessing anymore. Tang Bao turned his face to the side. Di Haotian's slender fingers pinched her little face, turned it to face him, and rubbed it twice. Continue guessing. I can't guess. Tang Bao felt that this was a trap. If she jumped in, she would be the one in trouble. However, Who exactly was the person who came here? Who would take the initiative to come here, especially to look for Di Hao Ian? Di Hao Ian kissed her inside and out on her little mouth. Tang Bao, who had finally calmed down, blushed and breathed heavily before he finally let go. Tang Bao was finally able to get up from the office desk. She stood there and glared at Di Hao Ian. This was an office desk, not a bed. Couldn't he be more considerate of the situation? There was a knock on the office door. The door was opened by the secretary, but the person who came in was a soft and cute little figure. Tang Bao was unhappy with Di Hao Ian's expression, but when he saw the person who came in, he was happy. Bowling, I knew you were here. I'm here to take you away, Di Bowling said to Tang Bao as he looked coldly at Di Hao Ian. Tang Bao laughed dryly and went forward to hug his soft little body. Then, he let go of him and kissed his face. How did you know I was here? This is too surprising. Di Bowling's face was red from the kiss, and he was a little embarrassed. Di Hao Ian looked at him, and his expression darkened. Why did he have to blush when his wife kissed him? I asked the people in the studio. Besides, I'm yours now. You have to be responsible for me, Di Bowling said with a red face. Responsible? What do you mean by yours? Tang Bao wondered if Di Bowling still had the intention of snatching Di Hao Ian's woman. Di Bowling immediately said nervously, Did you forget? You said you wanted me to be a child star. Adults can't go back on their words. So that was what he meant. Tang Bao had forgotten, because she really didn't want her son to be a child star. It was very tough being a child star. She couldn't bear to do it. She had already been missing as a mother for 3 years, causing him to suffer abroad for 3 years. How could she bear to let him suffer again? Come, sit here. I have something to tell you. Tang Bao took his little hand and sat on the sofa. Di Hao Ian, who had been ignored, looked like a concubine who had fallen out of favor. His expression was very ugly. He sat on the sofa opposite him and crossed his long legs as he looked at him expressionlessly. Tang Bao continued to ignore him. His attention was only on Di Bowling. Bowling, why don't you stop being a child star? Do you know? Filming is very tough. Sometimes, you can't even sleep at night. It's very tiring when you're filming, and it's even more tiring when you're not filming. You don't know how uncomfortable it is, but I know very well that many child stars can't take it anymore. So, I think that if you want to act, you can do it when you're older. I'll still take care of you. What do you think? No. From your next movie onwards, the child in it must be me. Di Bowling insisted. Tang Bao was depressed. Did this child insist on acting? Why did she feel that his personality was different from hers? She couldn't help but look at Di Hao Ian opposite her. Di Hao Ian looked at her deeply with his dark eyes and didn't say a word. But she could see the other party's eyes clearly. Di Hao Ian even raised his eyebrows at her. Can't I not let you act as I don't want to? Tang Bao tried to persuade him again. I can promise you anything else, but for this matter, I want to do it my own way. You've already agreed to sign me. You can't go back on your word, Di Bowling said. Why do you have to act? Why don't you go with her Bao and learn more about tea? Tea is much more fun than acting. Tang Bao tried to divert his interest. Moreover, Bao and Di Bowling were both Di Hao Ian's sons. Wouldn't it be better if they were both interested in tea? Di Hao Ian's gaze also fell on Di Bowling's face. Tea. Di Bowling frowned. I don't really like it. Di Hao Ian's face darkened slightly. You don't like it? That's not up to you. He still wanted to let them manage tea as soon as possible. Then, he could take his baby and have fun. He was thinking, how old should they be to manage tea? Anyway, they couldn't be more than 18 years old. He couldn't wait. When that time came, he and his baby could play outside and live a shameless life day and night. At the thought of this, his body heated up. Why not? Bao likes it a lot too, Tang Bao said. You're biological brothers and twins. Shouldn't you like the same thing? Chapter 9:12. Tang Bao's expression changed, and he looked at Di Hao Ian. Di Hao Ian's expression darkened, and he looked at Di Bowling with his sharp black eyes. As long as you like it, I'll agree to it. Is that okay? I know. You want me to be like my daddy and work like a horse for the boss of T. I'm not willing to do that. If I want to do something, I want to be the boss. I don't want to be a lackey, Di Bowling said arrogantly. Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao were speechless. Di Hao Ian crossed his legs, leaned forward slightly, and looked at Di Bowling intently. If you have the ability, you can also be the boss of T. Fight with Bandit D for it. Di Bowling asked. It's not about fighting, it's about ability. If you have the ability, you could be the boss, Di Hao Ian said. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? I'm not going to fall for your trick. Di Bowling turned his face away arrogantly, refusing to look at him. He was more interested in Tang Bao now. Tang Bao felt that this topic was serious, and Di Bowling really did not look interested. She would not force her child to choose something he did not like. Come back to the castle with me for dinner tonight. I'll ask the kitchen to make something delicious for you. Tang Bao touched his face and said with a smile. No, my daddy knows that I'm here, so I have to go back with him. Tang Bao's smile froze, but he still said, okay. Tang Bao, are you unhappy? Di Bowling asked sensitively. No, I just thought that you were here to look for me. It's not what I expected. Tang Bao did not want his child to feel burdened. If she was really such a selfish person, she could take Di Bowling back at any time. Don't worry. No one can change our relationship, not even Daddy. Di Bowling promised. What relationship? Tang Bao asked curiously. Anyway, it's a very close relationship. While they were talking, Di Hao Ian took out his phone and ordered his secretary, tell Di Junbai that Di Bowling will come back to the castle with me for dinner. After he finished speaking, his face turned cold. It was his own son, yet he still had to do such a thing. It was unlike his usual domineering style. Can we go to the castle now? Di Hao Ian asked Di Bowling. Di Bowling had never seen such a domineering person, but in his heart, he was happy to do this. She quickly asked Tang Bao, if I stay at the castle tonight, can I sleep with you? No, Di Hao Ian replied. Why not? You sleep with Tang Bao every day. It's rare for me. Which one of Bao and Xiao Bao slept with Tang Bao? Are you afraid to sleep alone at night? Di Hao Ian asked deliberately. Di Bowling looked as if his tail had been stepped on. He jumped up and stood on the ground. I'm not afraid. I used to sleep alone. If you don't believe me, you can ask. Then why do you want to sleep with Tang Bao? I'm wondering if you're too timid to make such a request. I told you I like Tang Bao. That's why I want to sleep with her. Di Bowling's little face was huffing with anger. Did you ask for my permission? She's my wife. Tang Bao was speechless as he watched the adult and the child arguing. Both father and son were fighting over her. This was giving her a headache. When they were leaving, Di Hao Ian picked up Di Bowling. Di Bowling was naturally unhappy. You're not allowed to carry me. I can walk on my own. Your legs are too short. When I grow up, my legs will grow longer. Then I'll wait. Can you put me down now? Di Bowling struggled with his too short legs. If you move again, I'll spank you. After Di Hao Ian threatened him, Di Bowling's face turned red and he stopped moving. The memory of that spanking was still fresh in his mind. He did not want to go through it again. It was too embarrassing. Thus, Di Bowling was carried out of tea by Di Hao Ian. At night, when Di Bowling was brought into his room, he was stunned and asked Tang Bao, whose room is this? It's yours, Tang Bao said. I changed my room. Di Bowling looked at this room, which was very different from the previous temporary room. It was like the room of Di Ban Han and Di Yunqi. Why did he have to have the same room as theirs? It was like he was also a member of the castle. Do you like it? If you don't, tell me, Tang Bao said. Di Bowling glanced at Di Hao Ian next to him and asked Tang Bao, is this his idea, or did you prepare the room for me? It's my idea, Di Hao Ian said. Di Bowling felt that Di Hao Ian was very strange. He was clearly not his son. So why did he do this to him? And why did he hug him all the time? I can sleep here, but it's better to have someone to sleep with me in the new room. Di Bowling began to make requests. He would not let go of any opportunity to sleep with Tang Bao. There's no need to sleep. I could take a bath with you. Tang Bao was about to agree, but Di Hao Ian beat her to it. Di Bowling's face was red, and he almost jumped. I don't want to take a bath with you. I want to take a bath with you. Let's go. Di Hao Ian directly carried Di Bowling and went to the bathroom. Tang Bao help. Deep Bowling reached out to Tang Bao. Tang Bao just smiled and did not help. Besides, Di Hao Ian took a bath, so he did not need to take a bath with her, right? This was very good. Tang Bao saw that there was nothing for her to prepare in a room, so she turned around and went back to her room to take a bath. After Di Bowling went into the bathroom, he jumped to the corner and stayed away from Di Hao Ian. He did not want to take a bath with him anyway. Di Hao Ian looked at him calmly as he took off his clothes. You don't want to take it off yourself? Or do you want me to take it off for you? No, I don't want you to take it off. Di Bowling tugged at his little suit jacket. Then take it off yourself. When I'm done, if you still don't move, I'll take action, Di Hao Ian said calmly. However, Di Bowling was so scared that he did not dare move. Why was he forcing him to take a bath with him? Were they close? Was there a mistake? I want to take a bath with Tang Bao. Di Bowling made a last-ditch effort. Di Hao Ian took off his clothes until only his underwear was left. He sneered. Don't even think about it. After that, he walked towards Di Bowling and picked up the little guy who was curled up in the corner. In a few moves, he stripped him smooth. His snow-white body had baby fat, and he was very cute and soft. When Di Hao Ian saw that he was still struggling, he slapped his fair and tender buttocks. It was not very hard. Di Bowling looked as if he had been struck by lightning. He did not move at all, and his face was red. To him, something like being spanked was simply too embarrassing. He could not let anyone know about this embarrassing thing. When Di Hao Ian saw that he was obedient, he put him down. He turned on the shower and instructed, "Come here." When Tang Bao passed by Bao's room, she knocked on the door and pushed it open. Chapter 9:13. Mommy. Tang Bao looked away and saw the little figure hiding behind the curtains. Only Xiao Bao liked to play hide-and-seek with her. Are you alone? Tang Bao pretended to be puzzled. Why does it seem like there's someone hiding behind the curtains? I'll go and see who's hiding there. Tang Bao walked over and said, which Xiao Bao is playing hide-and-seek with me. As she said that, she reached out and scratched her protruding belly. Ah! Xiao Bao screamed and laughed as she ran out from behind the curtains. When she saw Tang Bao, she smiled and nestled into her arms. Mommy, how did you find me so quickly? I'll hide better next time. Okay, let's see if Mommy can find you. Tang Bao hugged her and asked, why did you sleep at Big Brother's place again? Didn't you promise Mommy that you won't sleep here? Then can I sleep with you again? Just once, okay? It's too boring to sleep alone. Tang Bao knew. In the past, although Bao and Xiao Bao slept on separate beds, they were in the same room. Now they were in two completely separate rooms. Perhaps she was not used to it. However, Xiao Bao's ability to adapt was not as good as Bao's. Her dependence on Bao was too obvious. He had already told her that they could not sleep together, but she still came over. Sometimes, she would run to Bao's room in the middle of the night. However, in the face of Xiao Bao's soft request, Tang Bao really could not harden her heart. Okay, just once. He did not know how many firsts there would be. Xiao Bao jumped happily. Then, she thought of something and asked, Mommy, is Di Bowling staying at our house again? Big Brother said that Daddy even prepared the same room as ours for Di Bowling. Tang Bao thought that they already knew because it was impossible for Di Hao Ian not to tell them. So he asked, Daddy didn't tell you? I seem to have forgotten. Xiao Bao tilted her head and thought for a while. Bao said, yes. Bao walked up to Tang Bao and asked, Mommy, Daddy said that Di Bowling is our younger brother and that we should get along well with him. We all agreed. Why did you agree? Tang Bao was completely curious. Logically speaking, a child's mentality was definitely that whoever tried to snatch something from him would be an eyesore to him. It was instinctive. Xiao Bao might not have any thoughts. She was innocent and naive. Bao was more thoughtful. Did he not think about anything? However, from the looks of it, that was indeed the case. Before Bao could say anything, Xiao Bao said, Daddy said that if we don't like Di Bowling, he will be angry. We don't want Mommy to be angry. Bao looked at Xiao Bao helplessly. She had said that she wouldn't say anything. He really couldn't believe her. She was too unreliable. Tang Bao knew it. There must be a reason. It turned out that the reason was because of Di Hao Ian. What on earth had she done behind his back? Di Bowling still stood there motionless. Di Hao Ian was already standing under the shower and taking a leisurely bath. His godlike figure stunned him, and he blinked in astonishment. However, he didn't rush Di Bowling too much. He only told him to come here once and didn't say anything else. It was as if he couldn't escape at all. Di Bowling was a little indignant and looked at the door. Then he ran with his short legs and stared at the door with his big eyes. However, before his hand could touch the door handle, his small body was lifted up. Let go of me. Do you want me to spank you? Even a 3-year-old child could hear the threat. Di Bowling blushed and stopped struggling. Di Hao Ian was put in front of the shower. He looked at Di Bowling, who was indignant, but didn't dare to run away. He really looked like Tang Bao. He looked at his son, who looked like Tang Bao in his heart, and his eyes were full of affection. Do you want me to help you bathe? Di Hao Ian asked. No way, I can bathe myself. Di Bowling immediately refused. He was already very unhappy with the way he was bathing. If he helped him bathe again, he would be angry. Fortunately, this person knew his place and didn't touch him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be easy to deal with. After Di Bowling refused, he stood obediently beside Di Hao Ian to bathe. In his heart, he was still unconvinced. His small eyes let the people beside him glance at him. He was actually shorter than his leg. How infuriating. Then, he looked up again and saw something that made his eyes widen in disbelief. What was that? Why was it so scary? Why was his leg so much smaller? Di Bowling looked like he couldn't accept it. He was stunned and forgot to bathe. Why are you jealous? Di Hao Ian noticed his gaze and asked with a smile in his dark eyes. Di Bowling quickly retracted his gaze and said reluctantly, I'm not jealous of you. Don't worry, you'll have it when you grow up. I just don't know if you'll be as big as me. Not everyone will grow up like this, Di Hao Ian said proudly. So ugly, I don't want to grow up like this. Di Hao Ian's large hand stroked his little head. You'll understand the importance of this when you grow up. Di Bowling was very suspicious of his words. After all, he had never seen anyone else. Did his daddy look like this too? Were all men supposed to look like this? For some reason, Di Bowling instinctively felt that men should look like this because Di Hao Ian was very powerful in everyone's eyes. So, the size of this thing also represented a powerful person. When Di Hao Ian returned to the room, Tang Bao was already sitting on the bed. She was using her phone and looking at Weibo and various news. When she saw Di Hao Ian come in, she glanced at him and asked, Did Bowling say anything? No, he's sleeping. You didn't threaten him, did you? Tang Bao asked suspiciously. Di Hao Ian got onto the bed and pressed down on her. What are you doing? Tang Bao protested as her lips were kissed forcefully. Her face instantly heated up. Di Hao Ian breathed heavily and let go of her. His dark eyes were intense and dark. His slender fingers slid across her delicate face. The roughness was so clear. Bowling is very similar to you. He blushes easily. Tang Bao did not deny it because Di Hao Ian was telling the truth. She was also very arrogant. But she was not arrogant, right? However, she was still quite happy that there were 2 children who were similar to her. The phone in her hand was taken away. Her fingers were intertwined and pressed against the bedsheets. Tang Bao's gaze fell into Di Hao Ian's deep dark eyes. It was like a drop of water being swallowed by the sea. The vast universe was deep and dangerous. It made Tang Bao's heart beat faster and her face heated up. Tang Bao did not dare to think about what he was going to do. At this moment, what made her dizzy was Di Hao Ian's behavior. His fingers were so close to her heart. Chapter 9:14. Every beat of her heart was so difficult. Tang Bao could not bear the pressure of such an invisible hug. Her body struggled slightly. You're pressing on top of me. You can't bear it? Hubby is going to press on top of you for the whole night. Tang Bao's face turned red. I want to reject. Before she could finish her sentence, her little mouth was kissed deeply. When they separated, Tang Bao was dizzy from the lack of oxygen. Her clear eyes were misty and dazed. Her red and swollen lips seemed to be crying and complaining about Di Haoyan's bad behavior. How could someone be so domineering? He did not even let her finish her sentence. Your body or your heart? I reject both. Ah. Tang Bao felt pain in her waist. You can be gentler. It hurts. It won't hurt anymore. Di Haoyan's slender fingers coarsely lifted her pretty chin, and his thin lips kissed her domineeringly. Tang Bao had not completely recovered from the lack of oxygen, and was kissed so forcefully. She instinctively rejected him. However, she was no match for Di Haoyan. In the end, she could only let him do whatever he wanted. Tang Bao had a dream. The dream was very scary. She dreamed that Di Bowling was taken away. No matter how she chased or grabbed him, she could not touch him. Di Bowling kept calling her mommy, but she could not save him. Despair and pain made her very restless in her sleep. She screamed and sat up on the bed. Ah! Di Haoyan, who had just walked to the door with lunch, was stunned. He threw the tray on the ground. A black figure flashed into the bedroom and saw Tang Bao sitting on the bed, panting heavily. Her face was pale. Di Haoyan hugged her tightly. His face was cold. Bao, did you have a dream? Tang Bao nodded weakly. What did you dream of? Bowling was taken away. Even though Tang Bao had woken up, her heart was still in pain. It was very uncomfortable. It was as if there was something heavy pressing down on it. Di Haoyan's eyes darkened, and a sharp glint flashed across his eyes. He pressed her head against his firm chest and said, "Don't be afraid. Hubby is here. You don't have to worry about this." In this regard, Tang Bao believed in Di Haoyan. Although she would never say it out loud, she had always believed in Di Haoyan's strength. So, she nodded. Did Bowling and the two babies go to school? Yes. You gave it to me? Yes. Tang Bao looked a little displeased. Di Haoyan knew what she was upset about. Let Bowling stay here tonight. I'm just afraid that Bowling won't agree. Why don't I sleep with Bowling tonight? Tang Bao thought about it and immediately asked expectantly. Di Haoyan's face immediately darkened. Can't I? Tang Bao looked up at him with a pitiful expression on his face. Her eyes were full of grievances. She thought that if she pretended to be pitiful, Di Haoyan would definitely agree. However, no. Can't you tell that I'm very pitiful? Tang Bao asked in surprise. I can tell. Di Haoyan looked at her with his deep black eyes. Then why don't you agree? I won't allow you to snatch anything from me. Not even your own son, Di Haoyan said domineeringly. Tang Bao was angry. She wanted to get up from Di Haoyan's arms, but she pulled her waist. She groaned in pain, and her little face scrunched up. Are you not feeling well? Why are you asking when you already know the answer? Tang Bao glared at him weakly. I don't know. Tang Bao didn't believe that Di Haoyan, who had a penetrating gaze, wouldn't know where she was feeling unwell. However, she still said unhappily, My waist hurts. Stop it. How can a child have a waist? Di Haoyan kissed her smooth and tender face lovingly. Tang Bao's mouth twitched. How can I not have a waist? Also, she wouldn't admit that she was a child. She didn't have much confidence. Do you have a waist? Let me touch it. Di Haoyan stretched out his claws. No. Tang Bao immediately wanted to run away. However, Di Haoyan grabbed her. Why are you running away? Are you not feeling well? You're too strong. It hurts. Tang Bao scrunched up her little face. Hurts? I didn't use much strength. Di Haoyan found it strange. However, Tang Bao didn't find it strange at all, because Di Haoyan's strength was very strong even for her. It was just that he didn't realize it himself. How about this? Di Haoyan asked as he softened his grip again. Gentler. Tang Bao felt it and requested. Since she couldn't refuse, she might as well try to enjoy it. Di Haoyan paid attention to Tang Bao's facial expression as she massaged him. There shouldn't be a problem with the strength. Tang Bao was no longer struggling, which meant that she was comfortable. When she met Di Haoyan's deep black eyes, her face turned red uncomfortably. In order to ease her discomfort, he said, In the future, if I'm not feeling well, you'll massage me. Okay. Tang Bao felt a little better. It was true. Her waist was uncomfortable because of Di Hao Ian. He didn't control himself at all. How could she bear his demands? He was like a beast. As she was massaging, there was a knock on the door. Come in. Di Hao Ian's deep voice was heard. Tang Bao wanted to get out of Di Hao Ian's arms and hold his hand that was massaging her. However, Di Hao Ian frowned slightly and told her to be obedient. Zhongli came in with a tray and looked down. Young master, young madam, lunch is here. Put it down, Di Hao Ian said. Yes. Zhongli put it down and went out. Eat first. Hubby will continue to massage you after you're done. Di Hao Ian let go of her. Tang Bao was then able to sit properly. Di Hao Ian fed her personally. Tang Bao stepped back. You haven't eaten yet. I'll eat myself. Di Hao Ian looked at her and raised his eyebrows seductively. It seems that I shouldn't have restrained myself last night. Tang Bao looked at him in astonishment. Di Hao Ian's handsome face approached her, and his voice was low and hoarse. Bao, your expression pleases hubby. Tang Bao was stunned. What did she do? Should I thank you for your restraint? Yes. Then can you restrain yourself a little more? I'm afraid that I'll die young. No. Tang Bao saw that Di Hao Ian was so certain and asked curiously, why not? Was there any technique involved? According to scientific evidence, a woman will live longer if she massages frequently. Tang Bao looked at him suspiciously. Why don't I know about this scientific evidence? Your hubby knows everything. There's no mistake, Di Hao Ian said as he fed her a mouthful of meat. In his eyes, Tang Bao was like a little cutie waiting to be fed, especially her little red lips that were moving as she chewed. His dark eyes were full of affection. Tang Bao didn't want to talk about this with him. Anyway, whatever Di Hao Ian said was reasonable. If he didn't, then all that was left was to be domineering and domineering. Aren't you going to tea today? Tang Bao asked as she ate. I'm not going. I'll massage you in the afternoon. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.